It is Dom time. Welcome in, and we don't even know the full content of this show. Scott Presler, one of our favorites, has told us he has a big surprise, Dan, for what's coming in Pennsylvania. We have no sense. He's going to cut his hair, have President Trump win. I'm not sure. He'll be here at 2 o'clock today to reveal that, though. This guy is in the center of the ring for the most important state, right here in Pennsylvania. All right. Couple of things coming up. I'll play you one of the first questions asked of the Eagles' new cornerback, underline that, about he's a white guy. Does he think he's actually going to be a starting cornerback in the NFL? There are none. You have to go back to Sehorn. And
Jason Sehorn.
I remember when he was, and people said that guy doesn't deserve to be a starting cornerback. The only reason is he's handsome and he's in New York.
Affirmative action?
Yeah, affirmative action. Put in a white guy at cornerback. Like the NFL's really going to do that when they just relentlessly want to win. So we'll play that. Jeff McClain of the Inquirer. First question out of the box. But you may have missed it. Roe likes it, and I think it's great show fodder. It shows these just narcissistic people all gathered together in the media. They have a president, even if they don't like him, he's a Democrat, so they do. They pretend to take a shot or two at him. Dan, they opened the event with Obama mocking President Trump in 2012 or whenever that one was, 13, 14, whatever the year was. And then they have a Trump impersonator saying gibberish right out of the box. Who's the president here? It's Biden. Who are we supposed to be roasting?
Yeah, right. What's going on here?
Not one Jill Biden. And it galls me every time. Not once did they say First Lady Jill Biden. You know what they said? And Dr. Jill Biden was probably in giant things right alongside her. Just stunning. All right, so here is the SNL guy who I thought is okay on the Weekend Update. But, man, without a partner, without something to bounce off, this is flop sweat. And the audience didn't think it was that funny. He did all the right things. He barely mocked Joe Biden. He went after Trump big time. All kinds of things about Trump, of course, who's not sitting there, is not the president. But he redeemed himself at the end, just like Madeline Dean redeems herself. I don't know about you, but one of the things personally that sets me off in this whole thing with Trump Biden is they actually think they have the decency card. They want to say that all the time. This other guy is not decent. Biden is a decent man. What's the evidence of Joe Biden being a decent man?
Decency.
How about Miranda Devine? She has it on her list, Dan. I was going to include it. Lying that the truck driver who innocently got in, unfortunately, into an accident with his wife and child were killed when he was just assuming the Senate office was drunk. He wasn't a drunk driver. I mean, just think about what it's like. It's already bad enough. It's a tragedy. He has to throw drunk driver into it. Why? That's what he does. Is Joe Biden a decent man? Listen to the comedian at the Correspondents' Dinner redeem himself, talking about his grandpa growing up on Staten Island and how the grandpa voted for Biden. Why? Even though Staten Island is Republican, Biden is a decent man.
My grandfather, a Staten Island firefighter, voted for you, Mr. President. He voted for you in the last election that he ever voted in. I mean, I'm sure someone else will vote twice in this election using his name, but that's just how the Democratic machine works.
Where's the joke?
He voted for you, and the reason that he voted for you is because you're a decent man. My grandpa voted for decency, and decency is why we're all here tonight. Decency is how we're able to be here tonight.
Can you imagine these people in Washington? Decency. Where's Madeline Dean? Jump up.
Decency is how we're able to make jokes about each other and one of us doesn't go to prison after. We go to the Newsmax after party. And when you look at the levels of freedom throughout history and even around the world today, this is the exception. This freedom is incredibly rare, and the journalists in this room help protect that freedom, and we cannot ever take that for granted. So, Mr. President, I thank you for your decency on behalf of my grandfather, and I thank all of you, almost all of you, for your decency as well. I am very honored and grateful that you invited me here tonight. Thank you and good night.
All right, so this is where this election's gone, and these people in the suburbs lap this up. At least the suburban, independent, maybe Republican moms who are insulated apparently from inflation, the border. They can't look in the mirror. They can't see their kids. They got to vote with the decent man. Where in the world do these Democrats get this? Now, we talked and went right at her, and she doubled down and really messed herself up even more at Kristi Noem. There's no excuse for what she did here. And we didn't get anybody calling in on that. The shooting of the dog and the goats, allegedly some horses later on. So Phil Murphy puts up on Twitter, right where the new headgear is, Dan, a picture of his dog nuzzling right there in Phil Murphy's hair, and says, let's have more.
Get out of there, dog. It's dangerous.
Yeah, let's have more pictures of our puppies put up.
Don't know what kind of chemicals he's using up there.
So that somebody can't shoot them. And of course, one of the first ones that put her dogs up with her was another huge hypocrite, Whitmer, the governor of Michigan. So the point is, yes, we can call out the governor of South Dakota. And I'll play you CNN this morning tries to tell us that somehow or another Kristi Noem did this because she's and admitted it big time. She's trying to curry favor with Trump, who would like this. Oh, my God.
You know, I'm sorry. I don't mean to go back to the Phil Murphy picture, but I'm looking at it now. This might explain where his new hair came from.
Yeah, exactly. It might have been doggy ate it there.
No, I'm saying I think they might, whenever they go take the dog for a grooming, they might, staple it to his head or something.
That might be the case. So it's fine to say, what about Murphy? What about Whitmer? But, you got to call it as you see it. There's no rationale here. And thank God Kristi Noem didn't get in the final circle here. This would have been the whole election. That's the way I see it. You can pretend that it's not, but that's what they would have done. How is Biden decent, though? What is it that we know about him? Using his son's story, the one good Biden, it appears, Beau Biden, to cover whenever he needs that, to just try to bond with somebody to get out of something.
Decency.
The worst that I can find in my list. And finally, they were shamed into it. Not acknowledging the out-of-wedlock granddaughter. That's right, of Hunter Biden. How many times did they get caught? And she's part of that. So where in the world does he get to pull over this decency?
Decency.
Now, I don't think people on the other side, we've been through this, particularly evangelicals, they're not claiming Trump decency. It's already been litigated. That's not what it's about. But this is one of the cards that's going to be played here. And I know it's hard to believe. The Colin Jost kept on saying, Trump owes $450 million. He's with a porn trial now, yada, yada, yada. And the election is still tied. How could that be? Well, I ask myself the same way, but the other way. Look at this guy. Look at the guy in front of you, Biden, poking at his salad there. I don't know what was going on with the salad.
Yeah, what was wrong with the salad?
It was amazing.
Was he trying to get around the radishes?
Oh, my God. It was just stunning. And the election is still tied. Well, the CNN poll out now says in a two-way race, Trump is well ahead. And with the five-person race, he's 9 points ahead, 6 points ahead, head-to-head, and that's CNN. But I wouldn't get too I always believe this is going to come down to the wire. And the wire means it's going to be very close. And it could actually end in a tie. And Nebraska, one congressional district, could decide. I mean, I'm just not putting my faith in the fact that Michigan is going to go Trump in the end. I just have a lot, and Wisconsin too. Maybe. That's why we got to win Pennsylvania. All right, phone lines to get in. Is Biden a decent man? If you believe that, what do you base that on? I have a whole list. Miranda Devine laid out any number of things on a personal level. Yeah, is Madeline Dean a decent person? What's the evidence of that? We play that all the time because she tells the story when she first ran. It's a rainy day. Guy shows up, drenched from the rain. I walked in the rain to get here and just tell you one thing: decency. Go to Washington and restore decency. Really? I'm asking that seriously. That's a question people will look at themselves and go, can I vote for this guy? I like the policies, but Biden's a decent man. Let him go to hell. Let the country go to hell. Let's continue with this. But I challenge, where's the evidence that he's decent? What is the evidence of that? All right, let me give you the side question. And coming up, I'll give you a choice that I think shows Trump at his best of who is rising to be the VP choice. Not some wild thing that would excite the base, but somebody that makes sense, a la maybe a Mike Pence pick. Trump at his best is calculating, and Trump knows, whether he says it or not, what he needs. He needs a breakthrough in the suburbs. How do you reassure these people in the suburbs? I know you say, tell them to go to hell, Dom. I'm tired of hearing about these people in the suburbs who are going to just say decency and all this stuff. Decency. I hear you, but you know what? You got to win. You got to win. Then our policies may not be exactly what they want, but you got to win. You need to win enough of them. How do you do that? Well, the VP choice is helpful. I'll tell you who is being looked at rising a lot by several sources, and I think it makes sense. I don't think it's DeSantis. I couldn't go with DeSantis in a million years. I know a lot of you said, oh, DeSantis VP this time, Trump. You know what it is. 6-week abortion ban. Man, right there. What's the first thing they're going to say to Trump? 6-week abortion ban. Ron DeSantis. I mean, there's just no way. All right, side question today. A little spinoff from last week. Hit us with something that people pretend not to like. Guilty pleasure, but actually like it. Yeah. Maybe a lot.
So last week, Don, we did pretend to like, but
right.
Actually don't like. And the winner of the day was your hair, which we both disagree with.
Oh,
but
my God.
There's so much conversation that people allegedly pretend to like Dom's hair, but actually don't. No, your hair is great.
I had 3 people, including my Captain Chucky's friends, where I go, say, that's outrageous. They almost called in, even though they were busy, on the hair thing.
So the first one I'm going to take off the board to flip it on its head. I'm going to take off that collar and your hair again, because I think he's just acting like he hates your hair to make a point, but actually loves it. Actually loves it, right?
Jerry of Elmer, not that I'm keeping score here. Never put that man on again. I'm going to take gossip off.
Oh, yeah. That's a great answer. That's a very, insightful answer. That came from Roe, didn't it?
No, it did not.
Oh,
I didn't ask Roe this one.
Really?
Yeah.
No? That's a great answer there.
All right. So you got a couple here.
I got another one for you.
Go ahead.
Behind us, you hear him. Frank Sinatra.
They say they don't like it.
Yeah, younger generation. A lot of times it's the crap my parents listen to. You don't like it. It's, it's bad. But then you really dig down and you listen to the music and you ask, do you really dislike the music of Frank Sinatra? No, not at all. It's just, I want to be contrarian to the parents' generation. That's comes with that a lot.
Maybe.
But I think everyone actually loves Frank when you dig down deep inside, even if they might say they dislike him. And I'm going to take one off the board just because my hate is genuine for this guy, but I think there are people out there. I think everyone on the station's hate is genuine, but there are people that just act like they hate the guy. That's Bruce Springsteen.
Oh, God, bringing him in when you hate him, don't like him. I'm enough already. Can't use him as an answer.
He used him as an answer last week for the one, too.
All right, that's right. There's a limit. Once a month, you use Bruce Springsteen as an answer. All right, 855-839-1210. You get on board. Hit us with that. And is Joe Biden decent? Coming up, 2 things. One, it's hard for me to concentrate when he gets to this line. Oh, God. Hard to say it, Frankie.
And not the words of one who kneels. The record shows I took the blows and did it my way.
I have a guy guy at some point during the show I want to play back for you. He's an
Yeah.
alternative rock singer. He was in the band Creed, what we talked about last
Right.
week, but he put out a covers album of Sinatra songs, and I think he might be one of the best I've ever heard
Oh,
do
man.
Sinatra. now.
Can you imagine some
Besides
guy
himself, obviously.
30 up there on the stage? What a punk you got to be singing My Way.
I'm back with this, so stay
Oh
tuned
my
after the
God,
break.
you just can't. Just the hook going to come right
His
off.
name's Mark Tremonti. He's a guitarist
Okay.
by trade, but you'll hear him coming
Okay.
back from the break.
All right, Biden historic low in the Gallup poll, 70 years. What else is new? We'll get to that. But coming up, imagine you're new to Philadelphia. You are a cornerback. Did I say cornerback? And the Philadelphia Inquirer reporter asked you, well, you're a white guy. You really think you're going to start at cornerback in the NFL? That might be a legitimate question. Oh, that's ridiculous. Well, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see what it tells us about really wanting to win versus affirmative action. And also, I'll tell you who Trump is scrutinizing, and it speaks well of Trump. Not that I'm gaga over this person, but I think they would help him as VP. All straight ahead on Talk Radio 1210.
I'm living the life that I lived before I started having knee pain 10 years ago.
Meet Julie, a woman who makes the most of every moment in life. But over the last years, those moments were filled with agonizing pain until she discovered QC Kinetics.
Finally, the pain got so bad that people around me are like, oh, when are you getting your knee replaced? I was walking, hobbling. I listened to my last QC Kinetics commercial and I said, I'm done. I got to find out about this.
What Julie found out was that QC Kinetics treats pain associated with osteoarthritis with regenerative therapies, taking your body's own healing properties and concentrating them in the areas where you feel pain, helping heal and restore those damaged areas. No harmful steroids, surgery, or downtime.
It changed how I'm living. I'm able to do the things that I wasn't able to do for a long time.
Get back your life before the pain. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics 215-999-3000. That's 215-999-3000. 215-999-3000.
I'm Philomena, founder of Kin Apparel here in Philly. I love my natural hair, but not what hoodies and hats were doing to it. So I made my own satin-lined hoodies and created a business in the process. I've got big dreams, and Chase for Business in Philly was like, all right, how do we get you there?
Get financial guidance from bankers in your community and convenient digital tools all in one place. Learn more at chaseforbusiness.com. Make more of what's yours. Real customers compensated. JP Morgan Chase Bank, and a member FDIC.
Hey, Philly. Jason Kelsey here. Even though I won't be playing on Sundays anymore, you can still find me at Lincoln Financial Field on Saturday, May 18th for the Eagles Autism Challenge, presented by Lincoln Financial Group. This event raises millions of dollars to support autism research and care and gives you the chance to walk, run, or ride your bike beside your favorite Eagles players. Together, we can transform the lives of individuals affected by autism. Register today at eaglesautismchallenge.org, and I'll see you there.
Window Nation presents the 1210 WPHT Veteran Spotlight in partnership with the Travis Manion Foundation. Listen the first Wednesday of every month as Kale and Company shines a spotlight on a local veteran, highlighting their remarkable commitment to the community and their exceptional service in the military. Presented by Window Nation. At Window Nation, there's nothing more important than giving back to the communities we serve. For all of your window and door needs, visit windownation.com. That's windownation.com.
When you need to know, depend on KYW News Radio 1039 FM.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken is visiting the Middle East for the 7th time since the start of the Israel-Hamas war. The Sixers are on the brink of elimination. They now trail the Knicks 3-1 in their playoff series. And Zendaya's tennis movie Challengers was this weekend's winner at the box office.
Get the latest anytime on KYW News Radio. Now on Crystal Clear 103.9 FM.
You've never needed us more.
Free speech lives here with Dawn Stens on weekdays 10 till noon. Talk Radio 1210. WPHT.
Fly me to the moon, let me play among the stars.
No, it does not sound exactly
Oh,
like
yes, it does. Come on.
It's lighter. The voice is lighter than Sinatra's by a good bit. It's got the same moves, but not the signature.
No?
No, I don't.
What's
hear
it missing? I don't think it's missing anything.
I'd be able to tell the two anytime. Do it 100 times to me, and I get which one Sinatra.
So I was listening to this album over the weekend. Again, it's Mark Tremonti, the guitarist from
Yeah.
Creed, Tremonti, and Alter Bridge singing here. And he does my way. And the one thing that I think he misses, and it might be what you're saying here, is you can hear it a little bit, the edge of Sinatra. He doesn't have the bite. The bite. And it comes across in my way when he has that one line that you always point out that Frank almost like
owns it.
Yeah. He just doesn't hit it as well. But everything else, the tenor, everything about this guy's voice is almost spot on in my opinion.
All right, we'll continue with that. 855-839-1210. You get on board. So the person that Trump is looking at for VP is not Carrie Lake, is certainly not Kristi Noem. I'm not even buying Tim Scott. I think Dan thinks that. I don't see that in the end. Doug Burgum. What?
Oh,
the governor of North Dakota.
Oh.
All right, he got on Trump's radar screen. He's really wealthy. I don't know if he's wealthy enough like the RFK woman to help out. He's incredibly loyal. He's normal. And the polling indicates he might help him a bit to calm things down in the suburbs. He's vaguely pro-life, but not Ron DeSantis type of stuff. Tim Scott so disappointed me in the presidential stuff that I'm kind of afraid. I get the draw. Take that. You know, we actually have someone who's a fine guy, African-American conservative, but Trump's not going to pick somebody wild, is what it tells us, just to inflame the base. Look at who that kind of stuff.
I wonder if their strategy that they're thinking, though, is maybe that like a show like Yellowstone being so popular in the portrayal of just outright freedom that you kind of see on that show, being in that area, North Dakota, South Dakota.
This guy starts showing up with cowboy spurs and a cowboy hat on.
Freedom.
That's all he has to say. Thank you, Mr. President. Freedom. Yeah, in the suburb. Then he sent him to Bucks County. Now, who is it that can reach these tricky suburbanites? All right. I mean, he could tag in Brian Fitzpatrick. He knows how to do it. Oh, man. That might take people out. But I don't see it being, as I mentioned, Carrie Lake, anybody like that.
Jeff Van Drew.
Trump wants to win. Yeah, Jeff Van Drew kind of fits the mold. Yeah. He dresses better, though. Might dress better than Trump. That might be something he doesn't like.
Dress down. Got to wear a hoodie.
Yeah, he's got to wear a hoodie or something.
Take notes from
Okay.
Fetterman.
Here is Jeff McClain. The first moments with the Eagles' second-round draft pick. They moved up to get him a lot, and he played in Iowa. He played various defensive back positions. He's a punt returner, too, but he actually played cornerback, and he's a white guy. Here is Jeff McClain, the lead beat writer for the Philadelphia Inquirer. Here's the first question that he asked him.
As you probably know, there haven't been many white starting cornerbacks in the NFL in a long time. Do you think that'll prevent you from getting that opportunity?
I mean, if they put me out there, I'll be excited to play out there.
Okay, so the last that anybody knows of was Troy Apeke, who I don't even know. 2018 draft pick for Washington. While he converted to cornerback in 2021, making him the first white player since 2008. But prior to that, it was Sehorn in New York. That was the big deal. So I'm fine with the question if there's a broader discussion on this that you'd like to have about race and sports. Why is it there is not a white starting cornerback out of all those guys that play? My answer could be, well, let's face it, they just are not as good. Okay, that may be the case, or is it perceptual? We went through this before with black quarterbacks. Now, I don't know if it's half the league. It seems like half the league might be African-American quarterbacks. And the debate still simmers a little bit with certain quarterbacks, et cetera, but it's got to be close to half. And that's kind of been settled. In the past, they would convert him to a defensive back. Now it's accepted. It's a big added thing. If you can run, some can't run, but they can still play the position well enough to start.
Yes, we know all about that at the Eagles.
Yes, exactly. So 855-839-1210. Some people on Twitter went wild. I mean, this guy, I watched the highlight film of him in the draft, is dunking the ball over people, which is a good thing. And he looked like he's very athletic. Could he possibly play cornerback? I think they're going to try him. Watch what a flamethrower this is. Now, if the guy gets beaten on any play at any time, though, Dan, it's going to be, hey, he can't play cornerback.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
fair. But is it like systemic? Do you think? Or not parents but coaches when they have
Yes.
like are they not putting white kids in the cornerback position and they're not learning the position and that's why you don't see them?
Well, I know basketball better, and in the NBA, there are few, if any, my memory, last umpteen years, starting white point guards until Steve Nash, who played in Canada against other white players mainly, won the MVP, I think, 2 years in a row as a starting white guy. So it's perception. It's a interesting question because it gets at, the NFL just wants to win. They'll do anything to win. I mean, they're down there. The 250th player drafted, Dan Borowski. All right, here's what I'll give you for Borowski. I'll throw in the football that Dom Giordano threw 38 yards. I mean, they'll do anything to get an edge. So why wouldn't they start a white cornerback? I think they get weeded out, to your point, by the time they get to this level, and there are none that they think can play it.
I mean, flipping the issue on its head, though, could you imagine calling for affirmative action and saying we need more white quarterbacks?
Well, I used to kid about affirmative action. Why can't they have a 5'6" Eskimo with his underwear hanging down play center against Embiid in the NBA? They're not going to do it. Well, then why should society be continuing to do affirmative action?
Why are there no Ophi white 6'8" kids playing,
there you go,
male gymnastics?
Yeah. All right, get in on the side question, too, right now at 855-839-1210. The trial underway today. We'll have a lot this week, a lot on the gag rule. I mean, I've really been looking back on the bottom line with the gag rule with Trump and what this judge is going to do on Wednesday. It comes down to who has Trump threatened in this? There has to be. Now they're claiming, well, he doesn't have to threaten.
What?
You're going to get death threats just because he talks about you in a negative manner. That's why he can't do it. I mean, it's a completely new standard, particularly with someone running for president, particularly the judge's daughter, for example. The judge's daughter is fair game to me. She's a major Democrat fundraiser. Major. That's what she does. She's fair game in this. So's the judge. So is Cohen, and so is Stormy Daniels. Now, if Trump is naming names of a particular juror or something like that, then I think you got a different case. Now we're getting down into the weeds where this could be a really difficult life situation here. But the bottom line is Andy McCarthy bringing 2 columns over the weekend, making the point, how can you stop this guy who's running the leading presidential candidate from speaking out in his defense when everyone else is able to engage in that? Here is Stephanopoulos, though. Yeah, here is old Steffi coming out. I thought it wasn't supposed to be an opinion show.
Where's this guy been?
Yeah, here's Stephanopoulos, stooge for Bill Clinton and all the Clinton cover-ups, et cetera. And that's how he made his bones. That's how he got where he is today. Listen to Stephanopoulos opening up the ABC show yesterday.
Until now, no American president had ever faced a criminal trial. No American president had ever faced a federal indictment for retaining and concealing classified documents. No American president had ever faced a federal indictment or a state indictment for trying to overturn an election or been named an unindicted co-conspirator in 2 other states for the same crime. No American president ever faced hundreds of millions of dollars in judgments for business fraud, defamation, and sexual abuse. Until now, no American presidential race had been more defined by what's happening in courtrooms than what's happening on the campaign trail. Until now. The scale of the abnormality is so staggering that it can actually become numbing. It's all too easy to fall into reflexive habits, to treat this as a normal campaign, where both sides embrace the rule of law, where both sides are dedicated to a debate based on facts and the peaceful transfer of power. But that is not what's happening this election year. Those bedrock tenets of our democracy are being tested in a way we haven't seen since the Civil War. It's a test for the candidates, for those of us in the media, and for all of us as citizens.
Wow, he must have stolen the notes from the SNL guy from the night before. Decency.
Yeah, right.
Now, the other word they're using is this is abnormal. We need normal. One guy believes in the rule of law. That's Joe Biden. That's what he's doing. And how many instances have we seen that? The other guy doesn't. One guy's decent, the other's not. It is insulting. And I'm not saying they're saying it and they don't believe it. Stephanopoulos, inside player, is cynical and all, but deep down, he probably believes that. That's how much they've made Trump into this other being. And he just cannot be allowed to win. All right, 855-839-1210. Hit us on the side question, too. We'll get that coming up. Hey, if you're dealing with inflammation or stiff joints, then Glyco Plus from Rescue Natural Supplements can be your ticket to a healthier spring. Glyco Plus features a unique blend of green lip muscle complex and UC2 collagen specifically designed to support joint health. Collagen, a vital component of joint cartilage, plays a crucial role in maintaining strength and flexibility. And right now, Rescue Glyco Plus is buy one, get one free for anyone with our exclusive radio code. Just use the code RELIEF. Double up your order for free. Again, that's RELIEF. Call them today at 800-26-ALIVE, 800-262-5483. Speak to a knowledgeable rescue product consultant. You can also use the code online when you visit res-q.com, res-q.com. Get back into action with less pain, more comfort. Use that code RELIEF. Buy one, get one free on Rescue Glyco Plus.
Wow, honey, have you seen the electric bill?
Yeah, it's out of control. But have you heard of Navien tankless water heaters?
Tankless? How does that even work?
Well, instead of constantly heating and storing water, it only heats water when we need it. So much more efficient than our giant tank heater.
That sounds great. Let's look into Navien.
Already on it.
Imagine all the hot water you need only when you need it. Bulky tanks are history. Navien high-efficiency tankless is the future. Compact, wall-hung units free up floor space, lower energy bills, longer life than tanks, and a 15-year warranty. Find out more at tanklessmadesimple.com.
What's the room again?
1240, down at the end.
Ooh, what's that? Sammy, don't touch that. That's someone's old food.
Here we are. Do you have the key?
You have both of ours.
Oh, right. Not working.
Rub it.
Come on.
Try flipping it over.
Seriously. Why can't we go inside? I'm tired.
Give me yours.
You have mine.
All right.
What?
Please, if you
Dad,
could just...
why aren't you opening the door?
Can everyone just shut the...
Don't go there. Go on a real vacation. Go RVing. Learn more at GoRVing.com.
Hi, I'm Rachel, and I have a serious heart condition called hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, or HCM. Some symptoms include being short of breath, feeling tired, or having dizziness or chest pain. I still had symptoms on my beta blocker, so I asked my cardiologist about any treatment advances. It was a breakthrough for me. That's why I'm working with Bristol Myers Squibb to raise awareness about HCM and to help others like me. Talk to your cardiologist today and visit hcmrealtalk.com for more information.
Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb. Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's business cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor. And Ramp software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now get $250 when you join Ramp for free. Just go to ramp.com/250. Ramp.com/250. ramp.com/250.
Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com. Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you.
Weather sponsored by Morgan & Morgan.
It will feel more like late July today with a mix of sun and clouds. High temperature 88 degrees. Average high is 70 and the record high is 90. Tonight, partly cloudy and mild, low 62. And another warm day on Tuesday, partly sunny with a high 86.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Today, we're the largest injury firm in the world, and I'm thankful to you for trusting us all these years. We'll always be here for the people, not the powerful. Injured? The choice is easy. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, live from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter.
All right, 855-839-1210. You will get on board with Dom. We hope to, I talked with him a lot over the weekend. Eamon Brown is at the warehouse in Northeast Philadelphia. He tells me he's our buddy, pro cop, African-American represented, West Philly. Listeners have really taken to him over the course of time. School choice, the other thing. Even though he's inside the Democrat Party. And Danny tells me there's not enough votes there. And tomorrow, when he's in studio, I'll give him a chance to lay it out. He claims the Working Families Party, the socialist, if not communist, here in Philadelphia, spent $700,000. It's a state rep race.
$700,000.
Yeah, and either way, the person representative would be African American. There were two females, and they're all three are black. The only difference is he is a moderate Democrat, call it what you will, and one is like a Larry Krasner clone that they want in there. $700,000.
Where are they getting the money? A socialist organization?
Yeah, the various national funding. They sued just one group, $700,000 to try to unseat in a state rep race, which is, small potatoes here. My God. And the Philadelphia Inquirer, they can't get enough of going after him. Why? He's an independent black guy. That's why. They can't take that. They apparently don't want to see Cooper DeJean play cornerback either. I'm telling you, watch this story, we're way ahead of it. The other sports story over the weekend, how shameful. Now, look, I'll admit it. And in Philadelphia, I might get in trouble saying, my first passion is basketball. It's obvious. Football, yeah, I like it. Basketball, I think pro basketball athletes are the best athletes in the history of sport. It's not even close. The better. They're not just freaks of nature. They're incredible, right? So yesterday, the Sixers fans abandoned the Sixers again, and these obnoxious New Yorkers buying up even more seats at the end of the game, last minute or two, chanting blank Embiid loudly. They had to try to play music at the end of the game to try to drown it out. It was that bad. Is there anything more obnoxious than these New Yorkers? I know people say Cowboy fans, and the New York thing is just obnoxious written all over it. They are. They're aggressive. They're arrogant. They're obnoxious. And they're coming down here to Philadelphia to bother us. It was annoying. All right. 855-839-1210. You get on board. As I said, the gag order will be the order du jour of this whole week. On Wednesday, the judge in the so-called hush money case is going to make a determination about what to do with President Trump. And I think there's 14 counts of this or instances. He is not going to put him in jail. I would be stunned, even after all the things that have gone on. That's not going to happen. I don't know if he's going to put a fine on, he's going to do something else. But this is one of the most troubling things. We also saw the Arizona, more charges on so-called fake electors. And Mark Levin and others, even the AP, who put the story up about Arizona, made the point Democrats are trying to send a message this late in the game by charging these people with interfering with the last election. You dare not be ready with another set of electors come January 6th this year. You're all going to go to jail forever. This is what they're playing here. They have the judiciary. They have the government. So they are going to go all out to send a message. You're not allowed to challenge elections. Now, we could go through each part of the Trump challenges or others, and I could tell you how I feel about them, but I don't see the ones that add up to criminal penalties. Now, you may think some of the things that happened with voting machines. You saw Fox got sued for that. That's one thing, but we're talking criminal penalties of a bunch of people, including Giuliani and others, including Republican officials in Arizona. AP says they're sending you a message. Don't engage in this stuff if you lose the election this time around. If you do, we're going to come after you. and we're going to put you in jail. That's the way we're going to govern. That's what it's about. And just remember, Joe Biden is a decent man. It is
Decency.
Yeah, stunning. Meanwhile, the protesters, this stuffed shirt that's heading up Penn now, the acting presidente, told him on Friday, take down those tents after they started defacing stuff, bothering people, the usual stuff. They still haven't done it. And across the country, the kiddos who are doing this, it was on about, hundreds of college campuses.
My college campus got hit.
Yeah,
Indiana.
it's almost every college campus. They're demanding amnesty that, if they're suspended, kicked out of school, whatever, they're realizing, people in the business world are looking at that and thinking, here comes another one of these radicals. They want all that expunged. They either don't want to take the final exams because of all the trauma they're under, or they want to take the final exams when they feel like taking the final exams because they have to be there to stop this genocide. It is morphing into just an incredible thing. The only upside, it hurts Biden in the end. It hurts Democrats in the end, and they deserve it on this. At Harvard, they took down the American flag and put up the Palestinian flag.
Can I just throw this out there so that if there's any school administrators that happen to be listening to our show, which sometimes there are, I looked at Indiana because I genuinely ask you, did you hear about Indiana at all?
I didn't hear much of so many ones.
And no one did. And the thing is that's because the Indiana State Police just quietly went in, completely dismantled the protest, arrested 23 people, and you administrators are petrified of media pushback of what social media, what the loud voices in the minority of social media are going to say if you dismantle this crap. But Indiana does it, and you don't hear a pip about it. So do it. Just have the courage to actually break up these encampments, call in the state police if that's what it takes. But get these people calling for genocide off these college campuses. It's nuts.
The picture of the week, the sequence is the cop. It was a state cop by the hat in Emory. I think it was Emory University in Georgia, lifting up this. He started taking her out, a professor, and then she pretended to fall down a little bit, that she wasn't going to go. And he just lifted her like a cardboard stick figure and carried her a block in the air outside. Oh, people are outraged. It's just too much to take. They're incredible. And this guy that's heading up Penn now, my prediction is Josh Shapiro is going to put the hammer down here at a certain point on this, maybe today, maybe tomorrow. It's ridiculous. The number of schools that say they're not going to have graduation after this. It's amazing, the capitulation. But the upside is people are watching this. And in the end, they're thinking it's not going to determine the election. They're seeing this is what the Democrat Party is captive to. We're not that far from October 7th. They're denying that even. Sandberg, the second in command at Facebook, has a documentary out. We may get her on, showing exactly what happened on October 7th. So you have enough people who see how outrageous this is, and it should be put down.
So can I just bring it back to Indiana one more time? Because they released a statement, and I just want to put this out there because I think it's a fantastic statement. IU encourages and respects free speech, including the right to peacefully protest and demonstrate. Consistent with university policy, the installation of temporary structures requires advanced approval, and camping is not allowed overnight. IU students, faculty, staff, and visitors are expected to comply both university policy and state law. Students are held accountable to the Student Code of Conduct. These policies are in place to safeguard the IU community. That's the end of the statement. A couple hours later, after IU police told protesters to vacate the 10, state troopers then formed a line, advanced on the encampment in riot gear, pushing forward with riot shields and shoving protesters back and breaking up the encampment, arresting 29 people.
Yeah, and we didn't hear that much about it, to your point. That's exactly
23
right.
people.
I mean, it's not just about hate speech and anti-Semitic stuff. They don't have a right to put these cockamamie tents up. They have fixed structures to take over on this. They don't. You try doing that with any other cause. So watch this drama play out here at Penn, and the president of Penn is not returning the call of City Councilwoman Jamie Gauthier, who is the Working Families Party radical on City Council. So it will be, and the other side thinks they can still push back on this, that they still have leverage on this. We'll see. All right, 855-839-1210. We're going to talk at 1:30 with Scott Presler. He got to Dan over the weekend and said he's got a big surprise for Pennsylvania. We'll see what that is. And at 2 o'clock, the president's national spokesperson, President Trump's, that is, Jimmy Matthews, will be here. She's been inside the trial in New York. Give us an update on what's going on today and also the big event coming to Wildwood on May 11th. Phone lines, 855-839-1210.
Harry, if you watch any more of those stupid financial shows, I'm filing for divorce.
How am I going to keep up with our retirement accounts?
At JML Financial Group, we want you watching your grandkids playing soccer and sunsets in Hawaii, not the latest rumor of a market crash. Surprisingly, with proper income planning, the stock market shouldn't even be a concern. The money came in every 2 weeks while you worked. It should be the same in your retirement years. Let us show you how. Call JML Financial Group today at 856-925-6674. That's 856-925-6674. Or at jmlfinancialgroup.com. So, when your neighbor's sunbathing in the front yard,
Harry, you're an idiot. Get away from the window.
keep your eyes focused where they should be, on enjoying your retirement. Securities and investment advisory services offered through Brokers International Financial Services, LLC, member SIPC. Brokers International Financial Services, LLC is not an affiliated company.
Are you still holding on to that winter weight? Time to shed that fat and get ready for the warmer weather of spring with NJ Diet. For over a decade, they've helped thousands of people lose a contractually guaranteed 20 to 40 plus pounds in only 40 days. That's nearly twice as fast as weight loss injections and without any of those nasty side effects. NJ Diet uses your hair and saliva along with scans to personalize natural solutions and supplements to get you to shed that fat quickly. Then NJ Diet uses your DNA info to help you keep the weight off. You are fully supervised the entire time to make sure you are burning fat and not just losing water. And you even get the doctor's personal email and phone number. Locations in King of Prussia, Cherry Hill, and Newark, Delaware, or available from home with live online consultations. Call 855-5NJ-DIET, 855-5NJ-DIET, or schedule your consult today at njdiet.com. Get slimmer before this summer with njdiet.com.
Hey, Dawn Stensland here. You've heard me talk about Chapman Windows, Doors, and Siding, how much I love my new patio doors. You know by now, if I needed windows, doors, or siding, I'd only trust the Chapman team. If you're thinking of updating your current siding or removing your current stucco and replacing it with siding, think Chapman. With the new updated siding choices available, the curb appeal of your home will pop. If you currently have stucco, updating it with James Hardy plank or vinyl siding will truly add value to your home. If you're looking to sell, you can bet buyers will value updated new siding. And right now would be a good time to get ahead of the ball and plan your siding project for 2024. The certified Chapman installers are the folks you want on the job. If you or someone you know are looking for windows, doors, siding, stucco remediation, shutters, or hardware, give them a call or text them 610-431-8898, ChapmanWindowsDoors.com. Chapman, the name I trust. Tell them Dawn sent you.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Calling on Blackwood to follow 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now. Oh God, I am every memory of looking out the back door. I have a photo of the spread out of my bedroom door.
It is time. Good Monday. Welcome in at 855-839-1210. That's how you do it. Side question today. Something that people really like they pretend that they don't. And kind of a guilty pleasure. All right, so we got that going on. And as I said, Scott Preser a little bit later, surprise Pennsylvania. The trial continues today. Nothing really coming out of it yet, but we'll remedy that by talking to the president's spokesperson who's inside and give you an update on this. The gag order will be the story this week. Even the ACLU says the case is too sweeping, this gag order around President Trump. So what will the judge do? It doesn't seem to be too many courses of remedy other than threatening again and saying jail will come. A fine? I don't think that has the impact. Andy McCarthy today, great piece, how Judge Merchan is orchestrating Trump's conviction. And it involves, now we're not seeing this. I mean, we're just getting accounts from people that are in there. How the jury, Andy McCarthy says, may be really even unaware because it's hard to tell what the charge is ultimately, and the judge trying to massage it towards something they would understand and convict on. And we haven't even gotten to Cohen and Stormy Daniels yet.
Isn't the point of a courtroom to prove something that's already like, there, not to try to come up with something to make the jury's mind change?
Yeah, to come up with things that are nebulous and hard to know even what you're charged with and what their theory of the case is. That's what you get when you take something that's a federal misdemeanor, try to bring it down to the state level, wash it, and then put it up back into the federal as a felony. But all they want is a conviction. Even if it's 100%, the conviction will be overturned. And I wanted to talk about this. I just see this on Twitter, someone saying that I'm right on the suburban moms and people in the suburbs. Here's your chance. Maybe you never called him before. We have a ton of people in the suburbs. I mentioned the VP choice, Doug Burgum, North Dakota, that Trump is deeply considering. Look, Trump blusters when he's at rallies, does all, but behind the scenes, he's calculating it. Why did he choose Mike Pence? Could there be a guy more adrift, to get along with Trump and evangelical for the whole thing? He knew that Pence would be loyal. He knew that Pence could reach evangelical Christians. He's trying to find somebody to reach those suburbanites. And I know it's hard to admit that that's what we have to do. They appear to be insulated, though. I mean, it should be an obvious thing. Is inflation not hurting them? I think it is, but apparently not enough. Is illegal immigration on paper? Everyone's saying that, but they're kind of insulated from that. Is crime? We talk all the time about crime coming to the suburbs, but not really enough. Let's face it. If you're over in Radnor, is crime overwhelming? Pick a place. Is it really? I don't think so. So what is it that they can't escape that they want to make sure they have? I know what it is. Abortion. That's what we're coming back to. And if they feel one side is going to give them that because they're not insulated from that, they may want an abortion. Their daughter may want an abortion. Somebody wants an abortion that they want. They start leaning that way. That's what the problem is. So in the end, what is it that penetrates these people in the suburbs? You tell me if you're in the suburbs. What is it that they go, that's enough? I may not like Trump, but I can't put up with this. What is it? I know what it is on the other side. It's abortion. It's not even that Trump's not a decent guy and all that. They may or may be able to get past that. But it's abortion. They want it. They want to be assured of it. If you can convince them there's doubt, they're going to vote against you. It's that simple. Not everyone. You got to realize it's a numbers game. What is it that on the Republican side breaks through with that? 855-839-1210. Are you throwing your hands up and saying, well, Dom, you're right. There's nothing that breaks through. They're insulated from it. I would think inflation has broken through, but maybe not. Not enough to cause enough pain where they're going to say, I can't go with Biden again. It's too much. All right, let's go to Joe in Westchester. Joe on the side question. Joe, something people they say they don't like, but they really do. What do you have?
Yeah. Well, okay, I'll give you that. And then if you have a chance, I have this incredible, unbelievable, just, brief immigration story. All right, what do I say for the answer is fast food. A lot of adults I'm talking about who say, I can't eat that crap. But they really do like it. I mean, I could say I'm one of them because we have grandchildren we take care of, and they're always getting it. And if they don't want it all, I'll eat it.
All right. All right, Joe. Good call on that. I would say I'm immune to that one with one exception. If I'm in the French fry mood, if that starts, particularly the summer starts me, that would be something. The rest of it, though, I don't know that people are lying about
Nice
that.
fish fillet sandwich from McDonald's doesn't appeal to you?
Oh, yes. All those
it's
things
so
that
good.
are. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Hit us with that. Coming up. Suburbs. What is it that Republicans, Trump, are on the side of that penetrates, that says, yeah, this is something that does affect me, that I'm afraid of what the consequence can be if Biden is in there again? Inflation seems universal to me, but all the polling, all the data, it is a shocking thing how Trump is broken through with groups that no other Republican could. And the last hurdle in the swing states is just to do better, a bit better in the suburbs. Do that, and he's going to win. Not do that, it's going to be, God knows how close it will be. Phone lines, 855-839-1210. That's how you get in on Talk Radio 1210.
Eric was way behind on his taxes.
I owed a lot of money to the IRS, almost $15,000. I tried to make payments.
The IRS wasn't satisfied with Eric's efforts, so they came after him full force.
They're coming to put a lien and a hold on all my income, my home, my car. I was just overwhelmed at what to do.
Then Eric called Optima Tax Relief.
When Optima Tax got involved, the calls would stop, the threats would stop. It was easy like 1, 2, 3.
Optima Tax Relief is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and their team of expert tax professionals took care of Eric's problem.
I owe $15,000, and now my debt is clean. I don't owe anything.
Take Eric's advice.
If you have a tax problem, you need to call Optima Tax now.
Call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
At Cherry Hill Volvo, we have absolutely incredible offers, and a plethora of both new and certified Volvos from which to choose. We are eager to offer amazingly competitive prices because we need the room for all of our construction vehicles. When leasing or purchasing a new or certified Cherry Hill Volvo, you become part of our team. Join Cherry Hill Volvo for the pricing and attention you deserve. I am Judith Krepnick, President of Cherry Hill Volvo.
For some jobs around the house, it's okay to do it yourself. For others, not so much. Like your water heater. Replacing a water heater should only be done by a plumbing professional who can provide a safe installation for you and your family. For a long-lasting, reliable water heater, ask your pro about Bradford White. How you heat your water matters, and Bradford White water heaters are built to be the best for years of dependable service. To learn more and find an installation pro near you, visit BradfordWhite.com.
Hey, it's Rich Zioli. Let me tell you about my buddy, Dr. Mike Veneria. Great guy. Whether you're looking for pediatric, general, cosmetic, or implant dentistry, look no further. Dr. Veneria and his award-winning team, they have your whole family covered, just like mine. Dr. Veneria's office exceeds CDC guidelines and has always maintained the strictest infection control with centralized UV sterilization of airflow to ensure your safety. Locations right over the bridge in Cinnaminson and Woodbury, 856-786-2020 or veneriadental.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
All right, it is Dom time. 855-839-1210. Boy, it looks like Columbia University has changed their mind. It's a 2 p.m. deadline now to get out of there, and the cops are right out there. Now, they said they were not going to call them in.
It's clear that the administrators listen to your show, Dom.
Yeah, exactly. And this is the university that maybe others will take their tune from when they see what happens here. I'm sure it will be like the first day they did it. It seems like 1,000,000 years ago that they cleared them out of there. Listen to this is Cut 7. Listen to this encampment at Virginia Tech. Now, I watch this pretty closely. The mob, the seething, hateful, just stamp their foot, all those things mob here at the university at Virginia Tech. They said, we have children here with us, to kind of prevent them from being taken out. Listen to what they put this kid up to. He might be 5. He might not be. He might be 6. Can't be much more than that. You'll hear it in his voice when you see the video. You can see it. Listen to this kid leading the crowd. And, I would already start to monitor this kid for trouble, given he's 5 or 6. And this is what he knows to say over the microphone.
Do we do? When Palestine is under attack, what do we do? When Yemen is under attack, what do we do? Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
Now, why don't you put that out in your blocks, kid? Let's see if we can spell free and all. This is what they're up to. This is how demented they are and out of control. Just stunning. So let's see if Columbia does move this rabble out of there. And then let's see where it goes. The arguments here locally are at the University of Penn. I enjoy this because Josh Shapiro is seething. Penn doesn't know what to do. You got to love it when they're all caught up in this nonsense that they've helped to provoke. The only thing I hope is they're not marching today, stranding people in 89-degree temperature traffic for them to do their nonsense. And it's an obvious thing. How did we get to this point? We've seen it before again and again and again. They're ignorant and hateful, too much time on their hands. And you just have to hope there is a comeuppance here. But with many of these colleges, you're not going to see that. All right, 855-839-1210. That will get a line. By the way, with the various Trump trials, one of the things floated over the weekend you may see around the issue of the documents, classified documents at Mar-a-Lago, with Jack Smith, is the Hillary defense. And this defense is that too many things are classified. She actually played that for a good long time. I looked it up again for most of the period of time, talking about what she ended up destroying, got away with. That was a large part of her defense when she did offer anything. And Trump certainly can offer that when we get to that. All right, here is Sunny Hostin from The View. And today, even for The View, the just ignorance and the inability even to spin this when the rest of the world sees exactly what's going on. Here's Sunny Hostin. Remember, she's a lawyer telling us what is really happening on campuses.
It has never been in my life, in my career, the criticizing policies of government is equated with anti-Semitism. And that, I think, is a far right, comes from the far right. It comes from the authoritarian leanings where they don't want students on these campuses to voice their opinions because they want to change the narrative going forward. And I think we have to be very, very
Since I haven't said anything.
All right. So it's, in this case, it is people that are just criticizing the Israeli. We've been through this so many times. Even this dumb woman has to understand you're not going to get away with this. They're not just criticizing Netanyahu, the Israeli government, and all that. This is clearly saying either Hamas didn't do it, Hamas support, taking their word. Here's Nancy Pelosi. We still have that one? No, maybe we don't. Nancy Pelosi. Yes. Cut one, Dan.
Hold on one sec.
Yeah, cut one. Here's what Pelosi said about the number of deaths in Gaza. We have the Hamas report. Why don't we just accept that?
I don't have that ready.
Okay.
No, here we go. Sorry. Here it is right now.
The overwhelming, we don't know how many people have died. We have the Hamas report. Let's accept that it's tens of thousands. 10 would be too many, but tens of thousands.
35,000 seems to be the number at the moment.
I know that's what it said, and let's accept that it's too many, whatever it is.
Whatever it is.
Again, nobody asked them what would the problem with the left. We talk about this all the time. They never get drawn into telling us specifically. Let's just talk specifically. What would they do? Because they know whatever they tell us they would do is going to be, there's going to be backlash. Either it's stupid, impracticable, or it just doesn't meet the situation. So if they say, well, just have a ceasefire. They've offered a ceasefire. They want the hostages back. Well, you've killed enough of Hamas, you're going to stop. They know they can't defend that. So the bottom line is they keep on saying stuff we accept the figures from Hamas. You heard the woman with that voice. Now, that's 35,000, we now believe. That's a number now. They can say any number. So,
35,000 seems to be the number at the moment.
I know that's what it said.
Yeah, what was the source of that Pelosi cut? Do you remember? Who's that woman?
Yeah, I'm going to find that right now.
Yeah, the bottom line is any number. Say any number. We just want this over with. And we are going to accept. So George Washington now has ordered the protesters to vacate their university yard. Penn has ordered it, but they haven't done anything about it, typically. Here is Whoopi Goldberg jumping in along with Sonny Hostin, not only telling us that this is not anti-Semitism, but extending it toward what the conservatives, what the right wing is about with these people. Here's Whoopi. Whoopi's.
I haven't said anything. I'm sorry. I do have to do this. It is one of the great rights as an American to stand up and say something's wrong. Mm-hmm. Regardless of what your color is, if you're a woman, man, doesn't matter. And we must teach our people how to be on the lookout. Part of our problem is the media takes what is the best clickbait. So you see the same posters or you see the same people, but you don't see the folks who are doing peaceful stuff and saying, here's what we want to do. I would caution the media to be very careful about what they're doing and how they're handling this, because what they seem to be doing is pushing a narrative that people are pushing against, which students are pushing against, which I'm thrilled to see, because I like when students get mad and say, we want to change.
And what's that change? What is it again? How many times do we have to go through with the left, these dolts? What is the change? Well, they just want Israel not to continue to pursue them, not to engage in this. That seems like a fair position and everything will be fine. Why can't Israel do that? We know why they can't do that. And if you retort, well, what would we do in this situation if we were intact in this manner? We'd be called upon to hunt down and stop these killers. So they never have to say specifically, what is it that you would have them do? And it's not just about their speech. It's about the physical attacks. It's about the vandalism. It's about the fact they can't camp out on those campuses. And those campuses do have their own rules. These are the very people that talk all the time about hate speech, Whoopi and Huston and the others on The View. They have their own rules on campus around that. These people are violating it. It's a pretty simple thing. And the media is not distorting that. They're playing exactly what they're up to, what they're saying, like having a 5-year-old kid up there. Whoopi and the other ignorant woman, Hostin, apparently don't accept or understand when you say free, free, free Palestine. The question is, Whoopi, where are the Jews going to go? What are we going to do with the Jews? From the river to the sea, what are we going to do with the Jews? They don't want to ever answer any question. They want to log into this idea. Yeah, here, Dan just told me he has this Columbia professor supporting the protesters and saying that what we're seeing in Israel stacks up pretty well, reminds him of white supremacy of South Africa.
Well, I admire the students enormously. I admire their sentiments and their courage. I frankly am very disappointed in the administration. I think it's very short-sighted for them not, at the very, very least. I mean, I think they should be considering divestment more seriously. If they saw themselves in history, they would be thinking about South Africa and how clearly it was a good thing. History has judged it to be a good thing to divest from a white supremacist state. The slaughter in Gaza certainly stacks up pretty well against the white supremacy of South Africa. I think the students are right to ask for divestment. If the university can't give the students everything they want, they could do something symbolically very powerful by saying, we will divest, for example, from X country, Y company, which are, say, providing arms and helping very, very directly in the slaughter in Gaza. There are things the university could do if they were more statesmanlike, if they had more of a sense of where they belong in history, a sense that there are more important things. History will judge. There are more important things than some nice graduation pictures.
How many times, we told you at the correspondence nerd prom, Colin Jost, right, telling us about decency and Biden. How many times are we going to be lectured to by those on the left, like this clown, that history is going to tell us something different than what you view history telling? It's always history's on their side. It's always going to be that way. Whatever they say, that's where we go. When you say something like partial birth abortion years from now, people are going to look at that and go, whoa, look at these numbers. Look at what was done here. Look at viability. Look at the science. And they're going to say, did this society really engage in abortion to that level, particularly the United States? You try to make that argument, what history is going to say there, you're completely rejected. But history, every time, is not going to smile on you. All right, let me take Frank in Blackwood.
Can I just say something?
Yeah.
Like this professor, he seems like a really smart guy, but how have we gotten to the point where people are striving for human rights? And the argument here with the Gaza is it's a human rights issue. You don't want to, it's genocide, blah, blah, blah. There's truth to that. But the thing is, when you're talking about values issues here and you're talking about human rights, what you're fighting for, what you're striving for is a society that's ran by a terroristic organization that hangs gay people and throws them off the tops of buildings. So I don't understand where this sense of morality to support this organization has come from. And those that strive so much for human rights on a day-to-day basis have taken the sides of terrorists in this topic. It's nuts to me.
All right, absolutely. Let me go to Frank and Blackwood. I've been asking the question, asked it toward the end of last hour. Suburban voter. Those of us that want to win, those that want to pretend things are just 100% with the Trump campaign, we get it. God knows the breakthrough that's happened here. African-American males, Latinos across the board. Nothing's sure until Election Day, but there's a breakthrough. We saw it with the union guys last week in New York with Trump that a Mitt Romney, someone like that couldn't do. But suburban Republican voters or close to Republican voters are insulated. Frank's got something that something you can make mention of that might hurt them. Hey, Frank in Blackwood, welcome in.
Hi, Dom. I think there's a big mistrust of Biden because of the fact that he snuck people in the country. He's letting people sneak in the country right in front of our eyes. And I think he's going to do the same thing. He's going to sneak people into these communities, into the education system. He's going to sneak them into the HUD homes or put some properties in there and dump people in. And I think that people are going to realize they're going to get snowballed with all kinds of people that don't belong in there and use up all their taxes. Going to make it tough for them.
Well,
saying,
yeah,
no,
now, Frank,
let the people in.
That's where it's brought home. When you called in with that, the last that I remember, I think it was Upper Gwinnett that we talked about. There was a big thing on this is like 6 months, a year ago. We had someone on because of exactly something like that coming to the suburbs. Yeah, they don't like that. But to make that case, you really have to be thoughtful, dig out specifics, and continue to prosecute it. That's the thing they don't want in the suburbs. They may pretend like they do. You hit Radnor and those others with a couple of those projects, though, and I think that's a problem.
Oh, so next flu. You're right. Yep, right, Dom. Yep, thank you, Dom.
Thank you, Frank. But that really gets at what is it that brings it home to people that feel they're insulated. I go after Chestnut Hill all the time. They're a perfect example. They vote for Krasner. And yet, pickleball racket, 300 people are out there. They feel you're not going to see rampant crime in Chestnut Hill. That's probably, in their mind, I don't think that's going to move them. That they're going to say, got to vote for this because of that. What is it that works? And we know one thing that works, abortion, because there's no escaping it. If there's no abortion, you're affected by it. That's the mindset. That's what's been the mindset so far. And they don't like Trump to start with. They see the decency of Biden. You have to deal with that. All right. So side question calls coming up, too. You can get in at 855-839-1210 at 1:30. We're going to talk with Scott Presler, our buddy, making great strides in Pennsylvania. He's got a surprise he told Dan about. I don't know what it is. Dan doesn't. And then involves Pennsylvania. That'll be coming up. The president's spokesperson at 2 o'clock, who was in the trial again today. Not much has happened that we're aware of in the trial today, and that's why there's not a lot of news about it. But you can see how the election is shaping up. It's coming down to, as it does, the infrastructure, mail-in ballots, election integrity. It's coming down to this thing we saw with the Correspondents' Dinner. The comedian not doing well until the end. He talked about his grandpa voting for Biden because Biden was decent. You know what that means? The other guy's not decent. You can dismiss it. But these things are having traction with suburban voters and in the swing states, the suburbs. Surprisingly, maybe not Georgia as much. Trump, I would bet almost anything, unless some wild thing. Here's what's going to be the tell. I'm on the side that says if Trump is convicted in the Bragg trial in New York, it is not going to see a wholesale abandoning by the suburban Republicans / independents. But there's going to be some leakage. And my theory is I am an incrementalist. It's all about small ball here. How much? In other words, they're going to say to themselves, yeah, you know what? I can't vote for this guy. He's a convicted felon. Yeah, but look at this kangaroo court. On appeal, he's going to win. Yeah, but I can't vote for a felon. Can't look my kids in the eye. Got to vote against Trump. It's not going to be as big as the other side makes it to believe. Could it be in a swing state, 0.5% to 1%? Yeah, it could. Is that consequential? Yes. These things are going to come down to a percentage point or two in most of these swing states. Ultimately, it will tighten. 855-839-1210. Your calls are next on Talk Radio 1210.
Kale and Company weekday mornings 6 till 10.
Caroline Levitt joining us here on Kale and Company. She is Donald Trump's national press secretary. I've got to believe that if Trump was still in office today, we're not seeing these demonstrations around the country.
No, absolutely not, because this war in Israel and in Gaza would not be happening if President Trump were still in office.
Busy lady these days. Thank you so much for carving out a couple of minutes with us.
Thank you guys so much.
Start your day with Kale and Company. Weekday mornings 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
Hi, it's John DeMasi, host of Health Watch, a live call-in show airing every Sunday morning at 8 a.m. on WPHT. What would you do to protect yourself this cold and flu season? Well, medical hydration therapy at Innovative Medical Associates could help to boost your immune system. That's because vitamin C and other key nutrients are delivered intravenously, right to your cells. Medical hydration therapy may even lessen symptoms should you become ill with a virus or suffer with long COVID or post-COVID conditions. Dr. Molly Fantasia at Innovative Medical Associates prescribes a personalized treatment plan for every patient.
We are a medical facility. We treat our IV protocols or our hydration protocols as a medical modality.
Learn more about the benefits of medical hydration therapy at innovativemedicalassociates.com. And be sure to join Dr. Molly and me on Sunday mornings at 8 and again at 4 for Health Watch on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Financial statements, cash flow. Isn't my balance sheet supposed to balance? Am I even making any money this year? It's all so complicated.
You didn't get into business to work on spreadsheets. Let Style CFO Services handle it for you, freeing you up to actually run your business. At a fraction of the cost of an internal CFO, Style CFO Services offers a full suite of accounting services to help you, big or small. Visit stylecfo.com for your free quote. That's STILESCFO.com. Let Style CFO take the confusion out of your accounting.
This is Jordan Lundy. And this is Len Lundy. Lundy Law has won billions for our clients. But more importantly, we've won the trust and confidence of thousands of people injured in motor vehicle crashes, slip and fall accidents, and work-related injuries.
My son and I hope we never meet you because of an accident. But if we do, we're here for you.
Remember our name, Lundy Law, your injury lawyers. Call 1-800-LUNDY-LAW or visit lundylaw.com for a free consultation.
Every so often in medicine, something comes along that is truly revolutionary.
Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, former orthopedic surgeon, now National Medical Director at QC Kinetics.
I believe this is one of those things.
Dr. Scheinkup is talking about regenerative medicine, something he's practiced, researched, and written about for nearly 2 decades.
The old ways of dealing with joint pain, such as steroids and surgery, are no longer the best ways.
If you have pain from arthritis or injury, you owe it to yourself to learn more about this exciting option, using your own body's natural power to get lasting relief. And there's no better place to learn than QC Kinetics.
There is no one in this country today with more clinics, more satisfied patients, more advanced protocols, or more experience in using this exciting option to deliver life-changing results.
Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 215-999-3000. That's 215-999-3000. 215-999-3000.
Yo, Roy is Ford. What? We know your favorite station is 1210 WPHT.
Cheer up, sleepy Gene. What can it mean?
All right, welcome in, everyone. Dom Giordano Show. So, side question today. Something people say they don't like, but they really do. And this whole notion, the main thing coming out of this trial in New York, if there is a conviction, people then are predicting that's it for the Trump campaign. I don't see it that way. But this tenuous stuff with people in the suburbs and Trump is remarkable. My theory is just they feel insulated from a lot of this stuff. You're not going to convince them of that with Biden. They don't like Biden either. But there is a sense of I'm better than you because I'm voting for the person who is at least decent. And that came up from the Correspondents' Dinner. And there's no way, when you look at Biden's track record, you see decency there. There's not. So where did they get that from? Well, it's their refuge. They're better. They're insulated from the normal things. See, you people are driven to vote for Trump because of all these other things, we're not. So we're looking at this that we want someone who's at least decent. All right, Robert in Ben Salem's next. Robert's on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Robert.
Hey, Dom, Dan, it's good to talk to you guys, and I'll be very quick. Dom, I called you a couple months ago about Kristi Noem and told you she had crazy eyes. Do you remember that?
Yep.
Okay, and I think I'm being borne out here. I can't believe that woman is so cold and ended her political career. But on the other hand, I can only imagine that she has very well-behaved children. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, and Robert, it didn't come out. I don't know if it would have come out if she were the candidate. She was proud of it. She put it in there in the book saying, yeah, I can do the dirty work that's necessary. She brought this up to kind of amplify. That's what I would do as a VP. My God.
Well, she'll end her career in South Dakota. And also, Sonny Hostins. Sonny, when we were going out against Barack Obama's policies, you said we did it because we were racist. So if you don't like the fact that people that are protesting are being considered anti-Semitic, tough. Enjoy it. I hate hypocrites, Tom. And that leads me to my side question answer. My answer is porn. A lot of people never talk about it, say they don't like it, say they're against it, but it also dispels an old rule that you have, Don. You used to say that conspiracy theories were better than sex.
Yes.
Well, there are thousands of conspiracy sites, but there are millions of porn sites.
Oh, proving me wrong on
that.
that, because I have more evidence of that today. I said for some people it is.
No,
I have great
I
legs,
know.
though. Just remember, that's what my wife says.
I'm just having fun.
All right.
But you guys have a great day, man.
And that's going to be hard to beat. Really, that's going to be hard to beat.
It's a great answer.
That's a great
it's
answer.
Fantastic answer.
All right, here's what I was thinking of, though. Let me play this guy. This guy, Scott Galloway, is not my cup of tea, so to speak. I wish I had a tea sponsor. Dan, once they did get me Lipton tea. Rob, who was a great salesman, and for some reason, I was drinking on the air. I didn't get these giant tea bags. He didn't tell me they were meant for like a pot of tea for a group of people. Oh, man, about 2 hours in, I can remember it. I was trying to say I'm drinking it on the air, so I actually did it. These are like gigantic tea
Wait,
bags.
so you're taking like the big Bruin tea things?
Yes,
and
yes.
Did you put it in one of the cups?
Yes, and I think I did 2 or 3 of them, yeah. I mean, I used the product. All right, so
wired off the
my
off
goodness.
the walls?
Yes. So Scott Galloway is a professor at NYU. He said something similar to what Robert just brought up to me. I said, for some people, they get so off in conspiracy, it's better than sex. Hard to believe, but I think true. Listen to what he said about these protesters. There's not as much sex going on here with people at the college level. So what takes its place?
You have young people who are enraged by the lack of opportunity that they're presented with. I think that protesting is kind of the new, if you will, sex. Young people aren't having as much sex. I know how ridiculous that sounds, but for the species to survive, you have to have young people connecting in terms of romantic opportunities. And also for the species to survive, you get a dopa hit from gathering together and fighting off a perceived enemy. And I think they're erring on the latter, if you will. I think they're on the hunt for what I'd call a fake mortal enemy. And the reality is, if you type in to Google anti-Semitism and pick any century in the last 3,000 years, you're going to find multiple instances where the world decides the Jews are the mortal enemy. And then finally, and I know this sounds paranoid, but it doesn't mean I'm wrong, the frame through which they view the world is oftentimes or predominantly TikTok. And on TikTok, there are 52 pro-Hamas videos for every 1 pro-Israel video. So the frame through which they see the world is, in my opinion, being influenced to sow division and chaos within America and divide young from old.
Said a lot there. The sex part, too. In other words, this is a substitute for that, that we'll have this. And, and I would add he adds a part to it, which is, you want to feel that you're big, you're doing something important. They're going against Israel. Not Hamas, not the terrorists, not the criminals in our country, the cops, Netanyahu, Israel, all those kind of causes. That's a large part. And it's fun. This is their fun.
I kind of look at it some similar but different way, that I think it might be a means of a way to try to achieve sex for a lot of guys out there. Like think about the stupid thing that teenage
We've
boys
heard
do to
that
try
before.
to appeal to
go to the
women.
rallies and all that stuff.
You know,
yeah,
they try.
but the numbers indicate they're not doing that though. So
Like how many people in the 70s were hippies just to,
right, but that's then. There was a lot more sex.
It's true.
That's what they're saying. There's not.
It's very valid. Yeah,
this
you're
is
right.
taking its place, just like I said, conspiracy does.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was way ahead of Galloway in this. He's written books with this in. I should have put that on the headline. That's all you need, the title. People are picking up
But
that book.
is the rush of a social media and getting a bunch of likes on your posts and being
Yes.
virtue signaling that
Yes.
strong that it compares to?
Well, it's not as much work as sex is, I guess, to them.
Well, yeah.
All right, 855-839-1210. There's not as many
Let me
dinners
specify
and
to them,
movies
yeah.
and all that other stuff that, that right away they have this. The police are getting ready to move in on Columbia University, and this will make a difference when they clear them out of there. It'll ratchet things up for a while, but this is the center of the beast. We're going to talk with the president's national spokeswoman about what's going on in the trial today and about
Jean-Pierre?
I'm sorry. It's we switched it. Presler's going to be. Scott Presler's next here. Yeah.
Oh, well, I thought you
That's
said
right.
the president's spokesperson.
Yeah.
It's a former
Okay.
president. Dom, get it right. Come on.
There you go. Dingers, blasting, moonshots, whatever you call them. Everyone loves home runs. And with FanDuel's Dinger Tuesdays, you can love them even more. That's right. Dinger Tuesdays are back for another season on America's #1 sportsbook. You just bet on any player to homer. FanDuel will give you $5 in bonus bets for every home run hit during the game. You people love the long ball. Will you visit FanDuel.com/Dom, D-O-M, to get in on Dinger Tuesday action? That's FanDuel.com/Dom. I'll give you my pick tomorrow, but make every moment more with FanDuel in partnership with Valley Forge Casino, official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of 1210 WPHT. Have to be 21 plus, present in Pennsylvania. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Max bonus $25 per game. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem, 1-800-GAMBLER.
Weather sponsored by Morgan & Morgan.
It will feel more like late July today with a mix of sun and clouds. High temperature 88 degrees. Average high is 70 and the record high is 90. Tonight, partly cloudy and mild, low 62. And another warm day on Tuesday, partly sunny with a high 86.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. We recently received a call from an injured person. The insurance company had offered them $11,000. We took the case over and got more than $2 million in court. Morgan & Morgan.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
It seems like just yesterday when I captured my son's first steps or when we recorded his soccer games on VHS tapes. Those moments are gone. But the old home movies and pictures don't need to be. That's why my son created Legacy Box.
That's right, Mom. Over 1 million families have used Legacy Box to digitally preserve their old home movies and photos.
Simply fill Legacy Box with your old camcorder tapes, film, and photos. They will professionally digitize and send them back on DVDs, thumb drive, or the cloud.
With Mother's Day around the corner, it's the perfect time to get your Legacy Box and save your family's history. After all, few things are as important as protecting your precious memories. Give your mom a Mother's Day present she'll never forget. Legacy Box is offering a 60% discount. Order yours today and take advantage of our best Mother's Day sale ever. Visit legacybox.com/value and for a limited time, get an incredible 60% off your order. That's legacybox.com/value for 60% off. legacybox.com/value.
See Joe Conklin and the City Rhythm Orchestra on a tribute to Philly sports fans at Wildwood Catholic Academy on Saturday, June 29th. For tickets, go to joeconklin.com. JoeConklin.com!
Hi, everyone. Stephanie here from Emmons. You know, a great way to spring out of those winter blues is by upgrading the favorite place in your home, your bathroom. Emmons will give you an affordable, modest bathroom refresh with synthetic stone surrounds in as little as 1 day. That's right, 1 day. And Emmons will include interior design consultations at no cost to you. This is an easy way to spruce up your bathroom without having to break the bank. Call Emmons today at 856-885-6677 or check out our website at callemmons.com.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency on earth, and if you owe back taxes, the news isn't good. The IRS is raising the interest rate it charges on unpaid taxes, and further rate hikes are expected. Most people don't know it, but the IRS adds interest charges to your tax debts daily. So if you owe the IRS today, You'll owe even more tomorrow, and it doesn't stop until you get right with the IRS. The good news is getting right can start with one phone call to Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax relief firm. Optima's tax professionals specialize in the Fresh Start Initiative, a powerful IRS program that can save you thousands if you qualify. In fact, the experts at Optima have resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients. Call now for a free consultation.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Broadcasting from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter.
All right, Tom Giordano Show. It's always a great day when Scott Presler is with us here in Pennsylvania, and he got in touch with Dan over the weekend, said he had a surprise for Pennsylvania. So we're all ears. Scott Presler back with us on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Scott, welcome in.
Hey, good afternoon.
Afternoon, Scott. So what's on your mind today?
Well, I announced last week that I was going to be making an exciting announcement today at 9 a.m. Eastern Time Zone. And I'm very proud to announce here on the Dan Giordano Show that I am a first-time homeowner, that I have closed on my home, and I will be moving to the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania this year for the sole purpose of helping to re-elect President Donald Trump.
Well, that is tremendous news, Scott. So where are you going to be located?
I will be. I'm going to keep that secret right now. I'm dripping out the news. I have to drip. I have to create some drama. This is an entertainment industry. I recognize that. But let's just say that I will be joining my Western buddies in Pennsylvania.
Oh, boy, Dan, I told you.
Get
Come
it
on.
out.
We got to come up. We got a benefactor with a Brinks truck ready to back it up here. And downtown Philadelphia will be quite a spectacle. So. But that is great news, emphasizing again the importance of Pennsylvania, Scott.
It is. Well, and look, that's why I'm doing this. I want to bring hope. There are so many people that feel discouraged, or so many people that are just struggling. I talk to moms all the time and they go, Scott, I can't afford groceries. I can't afford to feed my family. Times are tough. And I just want to use my platform and my visibility to show, look, I am not backing down on the fact that Pennsylvania is winnable. And I am so dedicated to the cause of freedom. And I am so dedicated to my brothers and sisters in PA that I'm becoming your neighbor. I'm moving to the state. And so I'm asking all of y'all, I hope that this news presents to you the fact that we're going to work together, we're going to unite as a family, and we're going to win Pennsylvania this November.
Well, you are, over the course of time, the number one reason why I believe that. On one side of the ring, I see our biggest plus is you. On the other side, I see Josh Shapiro. And I don't discount the opponent at all. He's hell-bent to do this, but you actually do nothing else. You do other states, but we can tell when you're in Pennsylvania, you get the importance of doing this, how close it will be, and how exactly what Scott Presler does will be the secret sauce to win it.
Well, we have so many cool things going on. My organization is Early Vote Action, earlyvoteaction.com. And, the seeds that we've been planting with the Amish community have been producing results. And every single day, I get a text message from Chairwoman Juanita Byler of Mifflin County, and she goes, Scott, I just got another Amish person registered. I just got another Mennonite registered. Scott, somebody just dropped off another form, another mail-in ballot. And let me tell you, the Amish community, they like mail-in ballots because mail-in ballots are secret, because they're private. They can be delivered to the Amish community, and the Amish community doesn't have to go to the polls. They can mail in their mail-in ballot. And what would be more beautiful than for the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania to be won because of the Amish community voting by mail? That would just be so karmic and so beautiful. And furthermore, we also unveiled something this week. Now, this is a little crass, and I'm going to watch my language because I know that we are on radio, but there are 3.5 million truckers in America. And there are 80,000 truckers alone in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Now, I spoke to this wife of a trucker, her husband. The trucker in Pennsylvania didn't vote in 2020 because he was working for us. He was driving. He was hauling a rig. And so we're unveiling a new strategy called Truck Joe Biden with early vote action. and we are going to be visiting truck stops and rest stops across the Commonwealth and across America. And we're going to be putting those stickers with QR codes that the trucking community can register to vote via vote.gov at their current address. And we're going to make sure that truckers have a plan to vote, whether it's voting early, whether it's voting by mail, early in person. And let's get those 3.5 million truckers out to vote this November.
Well, without a doubt, and it strikes me a lot of them would be potential Trump voters. Maybe not all Republicans, but potential Trump voters. That's a demo, Scott, you're right to zone in on. They strike me to be pretty overwhelmingly in that camp.
75% of this community is going to vote, if not more, conservatively for Republicans. And so let's break down the numbers again. Just for anybody. In 2020, and I use this word loosely, Joe Biden won Pennsylvania by 80,000 votes. Here are the demographics that we're working with. There are 80,000 Amish. That's the election. There are 80,000 truckers. That's the election. There are 400,000 members of the Jewish community. And especially after the Democrat Party embracing Hamas, look at what's happening on college campuses. We're seeing members of the Jewish community that can no longer stand with the Democrat Party that is standing with Hamas. We have 800,000 members of the veteran community in Pennsylvania. It is home to the fourth largest veteran community in the entire country, and we have 930,000 hunters. And when you have stats that 1/3 of Pennsylvania hunters are not registered to vote, those 300,000 people could very well shape the future of the country and the globe if we actually register them to vote and mobilize them. And so my organization, Early Vote Action, is targeting all of those demographics. And here's the last one. This is very, very important. A vote for Joe Biden is a vote for war. If you're listening right now to the damn Giordano show and you're 18 to 26, in fact, you know what? Heck, if you're 18 to 35, because they can recruit upwards of that age, then a vote for Joe Biden is a vote for young people, for millennials, for Gen Z to be shipped overseas and go to war. For a man that when your casket is brought back to the United States after you've sacrificed your life for our country, he'll be checking his watch, Joe Biden, waiting as the time is passing, waiting for his next ice cream social that he needs to go for. And so what we're doing at Early Vote Action is we're texting young Democrat men, registered Democrats, 18 to 25 in Philly. And we're messaging them with a text message that says, young men have the most to lose in this presidential election. Vote for peace. Consider Trump this November. And we're getting text messages back from these young Democrat men saying, tell me more. I'll consider it. Because they are understanding and recognizing that the Democrat Party, with that party, there is no future.
I'm told that you were driving cross country. That's you came up with the Trump bumper sticker on a truck.
Yes. So, well, the back of my car, it's had for the last 6 months. It says it says moving to Pennsylvania to vote for Trump. But I'll tell you, we are going to have these truck Joe Biden bumper stickers on vehicles all across the country.
Absolutely. Scott, tell where people should go until we find out exactly the Presler homestead, where it will be. Where do they go, Scott?
Please visit my website, earlyvoteaction.com. You can connect with me on Elon Musk's X at Scott Presler, SCOTTPRESLER. And Don, thank you always for having me on your show. I hope the listeners have really learned a lot today.
Absolutely. Scott, congratulations that you're moving to Pennsylvania. Thanks for telling us about it.
Thank you. Thank you, gentlemen.
All right, Scott Presler. So, Dan, I don't know. Call me Dom at the
Well,
end.
I don't know.
Dan
What's going on there,
show.
man? Is it like a...
But
Is
he's
he
got a
giving
lot of
us all
balls. Yeah,
everything, both, just in case, you know? Like,
that's right. That's right.
has it been like going on this long that like no one wants? Because I don't want to tell him like, hey, it's
Yeah,
you know,
that guy. I only.
and
I don't interrupt.
I just got a text from Jim saying I think you said Dan Giordano. I
Yeah,
think
he
he's
did.
saying
Yeah, it's
damn
okay.
Giordano. I think it's the accent though, the Wisconsin
Yeah,
accent.
he's
a
got
little bit.
that Virginia. It's a backwoods of
what it
Virginia
is?
stuff.
Yeah.
All right. So there's one guy.
I
who
can
is-
verify though, like in text messages, he knows the show, he knows the name. So
Oh,
I
without
think it's just
yeah.
his accent.
So you got Presler in one corner getting the importance of Pennsylvania, but Josh Shapiro in the other. Don't diminish the enemy. He gets it also. All right. Phone lines are 855-839-1210. So if he moves to Pennsylvania, that is an indicator of what we say all the time. President Trump could win a place like Michigan. In the end, I know the anti-Israel stuff, the Arab/Muslim vote there. I just don't trust it. Michigan, I still think you're going to need to win. Well, I believe if you win Pennsylvania, you win the presidency. That's what it comes down to. That's where we are. So you got the Bidens here constantly, Josh Shapiro. On the other side, Presler out there is just churning up constantly where Republicans should go. And what I love about him, he's an incrementalist. He gets it exactly the way I would approach it. It's small percentages here and there. 80,000 was not enormous. The mail-in ballot, all the things we didn't do the last time. All right, give me your reaction at 855-839-1210.
Hey, it's Nick Kale. Don't forget to join me on the first Wednesday of the month for the 1210 WPHT Veteran Spotlight, a program where we shine a spotlight on one outstanding local veteran in partnership with the Travis Manion Foundation, celebrating their remarkable commitment to community service and their exceptional service in the military. On Wednesday, May 1st, we honor Marine Corps Sergeant Jerry L. Golden III and his exemplary contribution to the veteran community. Presented by Window Nation. For all of your window and door needs, visit windownation.com.
Tom Herr, and this is Susan Herr, Norvon, Pennsylvania.
Being with Crash Proof is like being in a big family. We know there's a lot of other people out there just like us, and everyone's very happy.
Yeah, they're not sad.
They're not sad. I mean, we come in and we know our money's safe and it's continuing to grow.
The crash proof system is fighting inflation for us. When prices do go up, we still have income coming in. And with the crash proof system, we made just under 7%. Even though we're using money, we're still making more money. And at the end, we have more money than we started with.
We have those resources to make our life in retirement much more comfortable.
And we can sleep at night.
Yes, definitely.
Only crash-proof retirement can guarantee peace of mind in a legally binding recorded financial meeting. Register for our next event happening at the Washington Crossing Inn on May 15th. Choose either the 11 a.m. or 5 p.m. event. 800-722-9728 or crashproofretirement.com.
Don't miss Good News in Real Estate with Deanne Katsaros and Mark Cumberland, Saturdays at 1 p.m. Find out all you need to know about home buying and selling. Considering a career in real estate? Visit PhiladelphiaRealEstateClasses.com. Good News in Real Estate, Saturdays 1 p.m. on WPHT.
Hey, Philly. Jason Kelsey here. Even though I won't be playing on Sundays anymore, you can still find me at Lincoln Financial Field on Saturday, May 18th for the Eagles Autism Challenge, presented by Lincoln Financial Group. This event raises millions of dollars to support autism research and care and gives you the chance to walk, run, or ride your bike beside your favorite Eagles players. Together, we can transform the lives of individuals affected by autism. Register today at eaglesautismchallenge.org, and I'll see you there.
This is Dr. Marianne Ritchie. Tune in to Your Radio Doctor every Saturday afternoon at 5 here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT for the latest healthcare news and information, because your health is your wealth. That's Your Radio Doctor, Saturdays at 5.
Do you owe back taxes or have unfiled tax returns? The IRS won't quit until they get your money. Here's great news, fresh from those in the know. Major changes have happened at the IRS. If you owe more than $10,000, you may be eligible for a 99% reduction of what you owe. Haven't filed a return for a while? Their happy clients are talking.
The IRS was going to levy my bank account, but Guardian was able to prevent that and fix all my IRS issues.
Thanks again, Guardian Tax.
Need relief from crushing tax debt? The IRS now has special programs. Guardian Tax knows all about them. Personal or business, this is the fresh new break you've been hoping for.
We aren't the company you call when you need a hug because you're scared of the IRS. Guardian Tax is the company that wins when you need it most.
Guardian Tax Service is really great to work with. They really help me out. I'd recommend them highly.
Call now for a free confidential consultation. 800-499-1216. 800-499-1216. 800-499-1216.
Free speech lives here with Rich Zioli, afternoons 3 till 7. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
They're running a strange program, y'all.
It's Dan time
I can handle things. I'm smart. Not like everybody says.
with Dom.
That's right. It's that time of the afternoon. Producer Dan takes over the Dom Giordano program for some Dan time with Dom. And Dom, first off, got a big suggestion that I think everyone needs to go watch as soon as possible. That is the most popular streaming series right now, Fallout. That's on Amazon Prime. If you're into conspiracies, if you're into government overreach, if you're into trying to find out a mystery, Dom, this is the series for you. It doesn't matter if you've ever played the video game. It's based on a video game, but it's being called one of the best, if not the best series based on a video game of all time. Dom does a series based on a fallout shelter during, it's about 200 years after a nuclear, disaster. But it takes place inside and outside a shelter as people try to figure out what happened, who caused the bombs, the nuclear bombs that really changed life. Is that something that interests Dom Giordano?
Nah, I don't think so.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, Shogun, the show that was recommended last week to you, by Scott
okay.
Connick. Have you checked that one
No,
out?
I have not. I don't have Hulu, so I got to work on that.
All right. Well, there's two for you that you got to check
Yeah.
out. And third one that you might want to check. I don't know if this is something for you, though. Challengers is a new movie featuring Zendaya, and it's been much more successful than others have thought that even they thought that it would be. It's a breakout success in the box office this weekend. It's the story of a tennis player and how she met her husband, and now she gets injured and has to train the husband. But Dom, it is raunchy as anything, and there's a lot of talk as has sex return to the movie theaters. And I'm curious, is sex something that's necessary in films to succeed, in your opinion? Do they elevate films? Do long sex scenes detract from films? Where does Dom Giordano stand on that one?
It depends on the context of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of the ones that are elevating. Probably not.
Like the
They're
one in
just
Titanic, I think, kind of elevates it, right?
Yeah, I guess they're just sensationalistic. So I don't know if they elevate it, but people want to see it. Yes.
Yeah.
Except college students. We've talked about that today.
And it seems there is a thirst for it still because a lot of people going out to theaters to see this Challengers movie. And Dom, apparently losing your keys is good for your brain. So something I often do probably once a day. It's good that I'm doing that. I guess it makes me remember more. And Dom, one more thing I want to get out there. Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. This keeps continuing. The story behind this is officially now been determined will be a sanctioned professional fight
that will count on their record.
They'll count towards their record. So if Mike Tyson gets beat by Jake Paul, Dom, does that change how you think of the man?
No, I don't think there's any shot. I think he's going to kill the guy. And I'd like to have Mike Tyson back on again. I thought he was brilliant in his own way. He really was.
So it is going to be a sanctioned fight, but there are still caveats. They're going to be using 16-pound sparring gloves, and it's going to be a shorter amount of rounds. But I'll take a bet with you. A pizza. You want to bet a pizza?
Okay, I'll bet a pizza.
I have no faith in Jake Paul whatsoever, but for the show's sake, why not?
Okay.
I'll play devil's advocate there. And then
I'll take Mike Tyson in 4 rounds. Yeah, or whatever.
That's all I got for Dan time today, Dom.
Thank you, Dan. All right, a couple of things happening here. North Penn School District meeting tonight. And I don't know, is it going to be one of these things where the superintendent sits there and says, I can't reveal anymore? Still under investigation. How much investigation is needed, given all the eyewitnesses, to what happened to that girl who was hit over the head with a Stanley Cup by another student who was transferred in there because of maybe previous issues? Is transgender philosophy something going on there that's behind this? We'll bring you sound from that tomorrow. We may have on the mom who led the protest there. But probably that's what you're going to hear tonight. Parents will complain. Either we can't say or it's under investigation. And coming up in the 2 o'clock hour after the president's spokesperson, I just saw this. This guy over at CB West is very suspect, okay? He runs a Muslim Student Association club that is open, I think, to people that are not Muslim, or I'm a little bit unclear on that, being investigated now by the Justice Department. Just the fact that the Biden Justice Department would investigate. The club posted a prayer for Ramadan that said, "Oh Allah, deal with the usurping Jews and the treacherous Zionists." How do you spin that? The Ennis teacher might come on. I mean, this guy's wound up enough. What he's accused of here is called blood libel. He's trying to, according to what's going on with the Justice Department, he's trying to bring Christians together with Muslims in hatred of Jews. And I think that's exactly, reading some of this stuff, that there's a fair argument that he's involved in. Now, that couldn't happen at Central Bucks, could it? After the takeover by, who is it? Is it Karen, whatever her name is, Karen Smith, and those others? Imagine the Biden Justice Department, which is reluctant to go after any progressive idea or thing, is apparently, according to the Inquirer, investigating this. He, in another post that weekend, the Muslim Student Association shared a tweet that said, "The birthplace of Jesus is getting bombed on Easter," along with a photo the complaint said was taken in 2021. So it was a fake photo. Get that? What he was doing? The birthplace of Jesus, Christians, is getting bombed on Easter, meaning Gaza. Bringing together Muslims and Christians. All right, nothing wrong with that. Oh, wait a minute. What's the unifying factor? According to all this, hatred of Jews. Right there at Central Bucks. I'll give you more details on that, but I'd love to speak with this guy. He's a Spanish teacher there that runs all this stuff and is apparently supported by all those kids who were protesters when they kicked out people who were actually running that school district effectively. I haven't seen what the school board says about that. They're on the same list as all these colleges that are protesting for anti-Semitism. The watch list, the Department of Justice list. Wow. What do all those suburban moms say over there? Maybe they agree with the guy. You know, it's anti what they're doing in Gaza, what the Israeli government is doing. So what if we're spreading hatred to get at them? All right, more details on that. The president's spokesperson, fresh from the trial and the big event coming up in Wildwood. And don't forget the side question, 855-839-1210.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members, FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's business cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor. And Ramp software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now get $250 when you join Ramp for free. Just go to ramp.com/250. Ramp.com/250. ramp.com/250.
April is here, and if your windows won't open for fresh air or seal tight to keep out pollen and bugs, then talk to Window Nation. Right now, for every 2 windows you buy, you'll get 2 free. There's no limit to how much you can save. Plus, save even more with no interest or payments for 24 months. With proven quality, you'll get affordable windows that meet or beat the national brands. Don't miss out. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com to schedule your free in-home estimate.
Dawn Stensland here. Spring is upon us. us, and there is no time like the present to get back out on the roads. And my friends at Piazza Premium Automobiles are going to help you find that luxury vehicle you've been eyeing. Piazza has thousands of new and certified pre-owned vehicles available right now from brands such as Mercedes-Benz, Land Rover, Jaguar, Maserati, BMW, Porsche, and more. Just visit them at piazzapremiumautomobiles.com, or you can stop by one of their Pennsylvania, Delaware, or New Jersey dealers. Tell them Dolan sent you.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free, with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
It is Dom time. Welcome in. So at Columbia University, it's about ready. The NYPD have been moving some barricades. I've been watching the last half hour or so, that they move in and move out the people that are squatters there. It's the same kind of squatter mentality going on. And we'll see what the repercussion is when the place that is the most prominent involving this nonsense has a lot of people arrested again. I don't know that that will stop them. I think you would just have to keep on doing it, particularly when in a place like New York, they're out in a matter of hours, very much similar to Philadelphia. The watch is on, the clock is ticking, pen is on the clock. They don't have any clock out there. They said take them down on Friday, and yet nothing has still happened to move them out of those sites out of Penn. I have a lot more, too, on this Muslim teacher over at Central Bucks, who, thank God, there was someone that saw what these posts were up to, has complained, and the Justice Department now is investigating. How rare. Caroline Levitt has been on the show before. She is the president's national spokesperson, and I believe has been in much of the trial in New York, and has a lot more, too, on the upcoming event in Wildwood on May 11th. She joins us here on Talk Radio 1210. Carolyn, welcome back to Philadelphia. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, thank you, Dom, so much for having me. It's great to be with you.
So have you been in the trial today?
I'm not there today. There is no court today, actually. The court was not in session today. However, the president will be back in court tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday this week. I've been in there with him the last 2 weeks, every day. And I'll tell you, Dom, it's despicable to see firsthand what is happening in this country, to watch the former president of the United States being politically persecuted as if he's a criminal, which he is not, when that courtroom should be used for prosecuting real violent criminals who are committing murder and rape and robbery on the streets of New York every day. It's a despicable witch hunt that's being led by Joe Biden's administration and the Democrat Party. And it's so very clear when you're sitting in the courtroom and you see the disdain that the Democrat judge has for the president, when you see Alvin Bragg, the far left district attorney, Democrat, sitting there in the courtroom laughing and having a good old time. It's a travesty of justice, and it's been very sad to witness.
Caroline, is the gag rule, are you under the impression that Wednesday, this activist judge, to put it mildly, is going to come down with his decision?
Well, first, he tried to schedule the hearing for Wednesday, but that is usually the day off from court. So our campaign had 2 big rallies. We have 2 big rallies scheduled in Wisconsin and Michigan. So our legal team asked to delay the hearing, which they did. It will now be Thursday morning. And to be honest with you, no, I think he will double down on it. This judge has a conflict of interest in this case. He should have recused himself, but he didn't. He donated money to Joe Biden's campaign. He's a Democrat. He's a partisan judge. And so the fact that he even instilled this gag order on President Trump and our team in the first place just tells you everything you need to know about him. It's a violation of President Trump's First Amendment rights. It's totally unconstitutional. And the witnesses in this case are not gagged in the same way that President Trump is. They are out there on television almost every single day, lying about the president, talking about the case, yet the judge imposes this gag order, which prohibits the president from defending himself. It's atrocious. So we'll see what he decides this week. But the prosecution has tried to make the case that President Trump has violated the gag order just by simply reposting articles that talk about the case or sharing news clips from cable television with hosts talking about the case.
Mm-hmm.
So now I suppose when you're a presidential candidate running for president in America, you're not even allowed to share news clips on your social media accounts. It's pathetic.
Caroline, as we're talking, and you may be involved in a lot of things, deadline is passing at Columbia University to end the encampment, and the NYPD looks like they're ready to move in. Talk about how this plays out into President Trump's campaign.
Well, we have been in New York, like I said, for the past couple of weeks for trial, just a few miles away from the courthouse, which is guarded and protected like Fort Knox. I mean, there are barricades for miles like you wouldn't believe to prevent protesters outside the courthouse, both against President Trump, but mainly for President Trump. They don't want to see supporters being able to show up and show their support during the midst of this witch hunt. But then a few miles down the road, we have these pro-jihadist, anti-Semitic activists on the campus of Columbia chanting hate speech. But they're allowed to, like you said, put out encampments. I'm watching the television right now. They have literal tents on the campus of Columbia. We'll have to see what happens here at 2:00. I wish that Columbia would get some courage themselves and do what's in the best interest for the safety of all of their students, particularly the Jewish students who have now been forced off of campus and forced to learn remotely because the college lacked the courage in the first place to tell these students chanting hate speech that they need to stop and to make them pay the consequences that they should.
Well, Caroline, you mentioned rallies too in Michigan, Wisconsin. A big one here locally, a shocking one when we had Jeff Andrew on with the ocean as a backdrop. President Trump coming back to New Jersey, the Wildwood Beach. I'm not sure how familiar you are, but this is an enormous space, and we think it might be almost totally filled up.
Well, we hope so. And there are still tickets available. You can go to donaldjtrump.com to sign up to get your tickets. We are so excited about this rally. It's going to be May 11th in Wildwood, as you said, on Saturday night. It's the night before Mother's Day. What a better way to treat your mother or your wife or the mother in your life than to bring her to a Trump rally.
Yeah.
So I will be there myself, and I'm very much looking forward to joining. It's going to be a great one. I know the president is very excited to go to New Jersey. It's a state he's talked a lot about because it's a state, we believe that maybe we can win in November. And we know that many great people in Pennsylvania are planning to come as well and from surrounding states too. So you can go to the website to sign up, and we look forward to seeing you guys there.
Well, out of self-interest and out of, I think it's a great issue, not just with New Jerseyans, but here in Pennsylvania, I hope you whisper in the president's ear, because hearing Trump talk about windmills is delightful. And this issue, Caroline, last year we voted it almost the top issue of our listeners across the tri-state area, the whales, the spoiling the Jersey Shore. And I know the president loves to talk about big wind.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes, he does. He talks about it quite a bit. He makes his case very clear. Look, the president supports an all-above energy approach. That means utilizing all of the resources that we have in this country to produce energy for the American people to bring down costs. But that mainly includes drilling and using the liquid gold under our feet. The Democrats want to stop drilling entirely and then move just to wind and solar, which we don't have the infrastructure for it, can't afford it. And as the president often calls out. The windmills are bad for the environment. You guys have seen it, like you said, firsthand in New Jersey with the whales washing up on your shores. The Democrats don't like to talk about that very much, do they? You don't hear about those stories on CNN and MSDNC.
Absolutely. Anything else you can kind of give us a sense that you guys, with a Jersey setting, the ocean there, the president might be hitting?
Well, he'll certainly continue to talk about the rising cost of living in the states of New Jersey and also New York, a state, of course, he knows very well, having been raised there. He'll talk about the soft on crime policies that you've seen in your Democrat-run cities in New Jersey and in Pennsylvania and in New York as well. You'll hear him talk about his plan to just get this country back on track, to restore peace around this world, to rebuild our economy, to launch the largest mass deportation operation of Joe Biden's illegal immigrants on day one. That is a day one priority for the president. He talks about it all the time. You'll certainly hear him talk about that too. I don't want to give away too much because I want your people to show up. It's going to be a great speech. I can assure you of that.
We will be there. Thank you, Caroline. Hopefully we'll see you that night.
Hey, thanks, guys. I'd love to meet you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Caroline Levitt here, the president's national spokesperson on Talk Radio 1210. All right, now Central Bucks. Remember right before the election, okay, and the turnout, the outside money and everything else that went into it. Well, the U.S. Department of Education's Office for Civil Rights is investigating a complaint accusing the Central Bucks School District of permitting anti-Semitic statements by a teacher and Muslim student group that he advises. The complaint, filed on behalf of a person whose name is redacted, cites the anti-Israel post on Instagram by Yosef Abdul Wahba, a Spanish teacher at Central Bucks West and the school's Muslim Student Association. The post describes it talks about one on March 30th by the teacher. He sells do-rags with designs inspired by traditional Arab headdresses, often worn by supporters of Palestine, that said Israel was, quote, ethnically cleansing Christianity from Gaza. The club posted a prayer for Ramadan that reads, "Oh Allah, deal with the usurping Jews and the treacherous Zionists." And he says, these things were all accidental. It was an olive branch to Palestinian Christians that I'm trying to reach. So, teacher, imagine if this guy had done this to another group. Do you think the school board for Central Bucks, well, I don't know, the Karen person that heads them, the Karens, I guess they could sit there on anything. They're that crazed. In another post that weekend, they shared a tweet that said the birthplace of Jesus is getting bombed on Easter. Now, that meaning, and they put a phony photo in, the investigation says, that seems to mean they're trying to reach Christians because, you see, Christians, that's the birthplace of Jesus. You ought to be offended because Muslims are under fire there from the Jews, from the Zionists. The complaint notes other posts linking Christianity and Islam, alleging that the teacher and the club seek to align the Christian and Muslim population against the Jewish Israeli population by using blood libel, a centuries-old false accusation claiming Jews murder Christians for ritual purposes. The teacher said that the club takes issue with this usurping Jews. It was posted accidentally. I apologize for not being on top of that. Then he says they were referring to the Israeli Defense Forces, not all Jews or anything like that. The post about Easter was meant as an olive branch to Christian Palestinians. Okay? The club has been the subject of criticism since February when an MSA event at Central Bucks West, encouraging students to protest the state's financial support for Israel, caught the attention of community members. So imagine what it takes to get the Biden Education Department office to be investigating an obvious progressive sort of outlet here, trying to turn people against Jews by tagging in various Christians, they think, that also hate them apparently as much as this Muslim student outfit does. Is there any boundary? It's always the defense. We see it on college campuses, the ladies on The View and others, to say, we're not talking about Jews. We're talking about the government of Israel or Zion or some other convenient. We know exactly what you're doing. Let's see what the Justice Department, more importantly, what pressure is on the school board to do something about this. Do they think this is just freedom of speech? Do they think this is speech they condone? All these errors, all these accidental postings, are those all allowed? So it's not just happening on college campuses. These mobs are right here being egged on high school campuses. So Dan will invite the guy on. We'll see if he'll come on, and he can explain all these accidental postings of hate. They're all suspect. We know exactly what the twist here is. Let's get Christians involved too. Muslims and Christians against the Jews. All right, phone lines are 855-839-1210. You get on board. AT&T and Verizon Wireless, all you have to do is just push pound 1210. Don't forget the side question today. But right now, it is time for... it's time for something here.
It's Dom's Money Melody.
All right, if you win today, you'll win a pair of tickets to see comedian Brian Regan on October 18th at the Miller Theater in Philadelphia. Tickets go on sale 10 p.m. Friday, May 3rd at Ticketmaster.com. All right, Dan, what's your backstory?
I'm going to take you back to 2003. This day in 2003, this person had a lawsuit dropped against them. There was a $5 million lawsuit filed against this person, our cover artist today, by a personal injury lawyer who claimed he suffered hearing loss in his left ear from attending one of his concerts. Judge said the plaintiff assumed the risk of hearing damage when he attended the concert back in 1997. So, Dom, this day in 2003, this person had a lawsuit against him dropped pretty much by a personal attorney trying to make some money. Who is the singer, Dom? Cover artist today. You can give me either the singer's name or the band name. It's a little tough. The guy's got to take a listen.
I put a spell on you. Because you're mine. You better stop the thing that you're doing. I said, watch out. I ain't lying.
A little more about this guy, Dom. Number 40 of the 100 greatest songwriters of all time. Number 72 of the 100 greatest singers of all time.
Not bad. All right, hit us with that, and you are going off to the Miller Theater. 855-839-1210. That's how you do it. AT&T and Verizon Wireless. All we need you to do is just push pound 1210. It looks to me like at Columbia, a number of police starting to marshal around the encampment. We'll let you know what happens next. And let's get a winner here on Talk Radio 1210.
Rich Zioli.
Well, Mr. President, you got a lot of support in Pennsylvania, tremendous support. I've never seen it this big before, honestly. And I know the primary, I know you wish you could be with us, but I just want you to know that the people of Pennsylvania are with you. This is unconscionable what they're doing to you, but we're with you.
You've been so great, and I appreciate it. And get everybody out to vote. They got to get out to vote. We just want to send a signal because I really believe that November 5th, that's Election Day, it will be the most important period, most important day in the history of our country.
Rich Zioli, weekday afternoons, 3 to 7. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and on the free Odyssey app.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ziprecruiter.com/radio. That's ziprecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Eric was way behind on his taxes.
I owed a lot of money to the IRS, almost $15,000. I tried to make payments.
The IRS wasn't satisfied with Eric's efforts, so they came after him full force.
They're coming to put a lien and a hold on all my income, my home, my car. I was just overwhelmed at what to do.
Then Eric called Optima Tax Relief.
When Optima Tax got involved, the calls would stop, the threats would stop. It was easy like 1, 2, 3.
Optima Tax Relief is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and their team of expert tax professionals took care of Eric's problem.
I owe $15,000, and now my debt is clean. I don't owe anything.
Take Eric's advice.
If you have a tax problem, you need to call Optima Tax now.
Call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Spring is here. Get ahead of summer pricing and availability. Call CNC Heating and Air Conditioning, your local Lennox dealers. Family owned and operated, serving Montgomery and Bucks counties for over 50 years. With 24/7 service and trained technicians, CNC will make sure your system is running efficiently before you get stuck without cooling on blistering hot days coming up. 0% financing options are available. Schedule an estimate today at cc-hvac.com.
Baseball is back, basketball is heating up, and the NFL Draft is right around the corner. Listen to the latest on the teams you love with the free Odyssey app. The biggest sports radio stations in the country, providing unrivaled local coverage of their teams, all in one place. Exclusive interviews with players, coaches, and team executives, streaming live and always available on demand. Stay in the know with your favorite teams with Odyssey. AUDACY. Download the free Odyssey app today.
Hey, Clementon. Yeah! We know your favorite station is Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
WPHT. It's the Money Melody.
Where's all the money gone?
Show me the money.
All right. Great prize today for Dom's Money Melody. Looking for the singer or band. Let's hear the clue, and let's see if we can get a winner.
I put a spell on you. Because you're mine.
All right, let me try Doug in Burlington. All right, Doug, the singer of the band. What are you going for?
My guess is it's John Fogerty.
All right, very good guess. Enjoy Brian Reagan here. I'll put you on hold, Doug. Nicely played. Dan, any little bit, because I got a Krasner watch update.
Yeah, we'll
go
get.
ahead.
Yeah. I'll be real quick. It was just Creedence Clearwater Revival's John Fogerty, who was settled a lawsuit today, 2003. He didn't settle. He had a lawsuit against him dropped, a $5 million lawsuit against him dropped because a personal injury lawyer claimed that they suffered hearing loss at a concert. What a crap that is. But a judge rightly said that the plaintiff assumed the risk of hearing damage when attending the concert and set a precedent that has set since then.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right, the Krasner watch, and you got to love this when you see the progressives at Penn, the little kitty's gone wild there, and then Krasner comes in. So Krasner had a news conference today. He was asked, would he imagine having to ask a prosecutor, would you prosecute people arrested? Because Penn has allowed them to do this since Friday. They told them to take the encampment down. Would you prosecute? And what did the great man do? Well, he lectured on the First Amendment. Then, Dan, he pivoted. They said, well, wait a minute. These are encampments. People cannot encamp out there at Penn. That's violative of city and state law, or at least city law. There are signs up telling them now, new signs, you can't encamp here. You can't be there in that situation for obvious, all kinds of reasons, right? Krasner says, oh, yeah? Well, the Supreme Court recently is deciding whether cities can punish people for sleeping outside in public spaces. We're not giving out advisory opinions today on conduct that we can't even imagine that might happen in the future. Then he said, we've all heard of a long history in this country of local government claiming that everything that was done in the name of free speech was a crime. And we certainly have seen the benefits that have come from nonviolent, peaceful efforts to achieve social change. Now, as maddening as this is, Dan, will the Philadelphia police, first of all, arrest if Penn wants that? Or will Penn police, Penn has one of the larger, more equipped police departments, will they drive the encampers out? 855-839-1210. As maddening as it is to see them, quote, getting away with it, you tried doing that. It's interesting to see then what places like Penn do. You know what the X factor is here, Dan? Usually Josh Shapiro would have jumped into the ring by now. He did before with Goldie, you can't hide. Remember that? With the hummus restaurant and the anti-Semitism. Why has he not jumped in here yet? And the answer is Josh Shapiro, when it comes to Larry Krasner, treads very lightly. He's not going to push back on Krasner. And I know you think this guy pushes back on everything, particularly Trump. By the way, nice shoes by Drew Barrymore. I'm looking here at a replay by Fox.
Could you imagine if
the interview with Kamala Harris? And imagine if I did that with Rand Paul. I was 6 inches away from Rand Paul's face, leaning. Even Kamala Harris is thinking, when the hell will this be over with this stupid woman that I have to go through all this stuff?
I wonder what Drew Barrymore's breath smells like, because Kamala definitely knows today that answer.
I think she was within her face at one point, 8 to 10 inches of her constantly in an interview and almost on her lap.
Yeah.
So, we may have to try that as an interviewing style.
She's innovative, Dom. It's a new way of doing things, apparently.
And
we're going to get you all up in Rand Paul.
Yeah, the clomping shoes that she has. My God. Well, Howard Stern, nice suits. Black suit like he was going to a funeral on Friday when he had Joe Biden in studio.
As someone that has so much money, you'd think he'd be dressed better, right?
Yeah. Well, wearing a suit because Biden is the father of the country. He wants Biden to tell us he's the father to us all. All right. So here's the dilemma. You got a guy like Larry Krasner, who is basically saying if he does prosecute these people, it'll be with a wink or a nod. It'll be sign in, sign out. But he may not even do that to make a statement about what's going on right now at Penn. So these weasels at Penn, I'm loving this on one hand. I love it when you see these competing weasels. What do? They don't want them there. They're getting pressure again. They're under scrutiny. They know what happened to the last president. They know that they vandalized the Ben Franklin statue. They know they're spewing anti-Semitism and everything else. They know that you're not allowed to be there on the college green and all that with all these encampments. They know the more that it goes on, the harder it will be to get them out of there. So what are they going to do when they read Krasner telling them, hey, buddy, at Penn, don't expect that we're going to do anything? What will the Philadelphia police do? Now, my bet is, Dan, that the Philadelphia police, if Penn asked, will arrest them and move them out of there. I don't think the Philadelphia police are going to say, as they would under Jim Kenney, this is the First Amendment, buddy. You ought to be celebrating this. The showdown continues at Columbia, where the deadline has passed and the NYPD are right there ready to move in, but nothing has happened yet. Watch this one in Philadelphia with Krasner. I might add, Dan, it's Thursday, right, that the police commissioner is going to be in studio with us.
Yep.
We don't have a time yet, though.
I think it's 1 p.m. But
1 p.m.? All right, that's great. I am really looking forward. He comes highly recommended by a lot of cops that I speak with. His actions so far and the Parker administration so far have been spot on, I think, when it comes to the police, law enforcement. Of course, we're waiting for more of the movement with Kensington. And you have to admire an administration. And I know some of you, it's hard. She's a Democrat. Okay. That is willing to make Kensington the place that you are going to try to change the lawlessness, the human depravity there. You're making that a centerpiece. Now, how hard that is, given how many forces have said, let's dump everything into Kensington. That's what they've done. Maybe over the last 25 or 30 or 40 years. You got to admire that when that becomes a major item. All right, let's go to Cole in Lumberton. He's in on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Cole, afternoon to you.
Good afternoon to you. I listen to your show decent amount.
Well, thank you, Cole, very much.
Yeah, I just this whole thing with the Ivy League schools is really interesting to me. On one hand, it's like I personally I'm not an Ivy Leaguer myself. I'm working class. My parents are working class. And that's why I see this kind of these rich kids walking around, and I don't know. It's hard for me to sympathize with them.
Oh, absolutely. No, they're repellent. Exactly right. They have time to do this. You don't see a lot of them apparently needing to go to class too much and or work a part-time job or get a summer job started, because I think they're almost at the period of time where school would be over, Cole. They're completely unsympathetic.
It's crazy to me. Like, Cole's probably with me. In a world where student loan debt is crazy, housing prices are nuts, taxes, especially in Jersey, are out the wazoo. Cole, I'm sure you're working your ass off like I am, and there is legitimately no time in my life to go out there and sit out in an encampment for days at a time. I don't know where people are getting this time or who these people are. I think it's a chronically online crowd that it pretty much is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there are a lot of these people are organizing online. I mean, a lot of the people who were at the encampments, I mean, at least a week ago, they were already expelled from the school and from their dorms, on a moment's notice. And the thing is, I called in. I wouldn't say I'm a Republican or a Democrat. I'm actually registered as an independent, but I see where they're coming from as far as Israel goes. I actually, for the most part, I kind of agree. I mean, what they're asking for is kind of silly. Like, they're asking for the administrations to divest, but there's not really. It's like a hundredth of a percentile that the actual school is investing in, Israel and arms and that kind of thing. So to me, it seems silly, but I'm not a Zionist, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
Why is that? What do you object to there? I am a Zionist, Cole, as you probably know. What do you object to?
Well, personally, I object to. I feel like Israel is an illegitimate state. I mean, it was founded by Britain after World War II, and which I can understand why they would come to that. But Zionism as an actual idea stems from like the late 1800s, and it really comes from right-wing Jewish supremacists. And I would not dispel the idea that they were in Israel. Jews obviously came from Israel. But I think their right to claim land that they weren't already living in is I disagree with that, and especially with the violence that came along with it and has really been there since the very beginning. And if you go there, I mean, I know Jewish people who have done birthright, and they say it's the conditions that the people are in. It's like an open air prison.
Well, it's only because with Gaza, if you're talking about, Cole, because of the attacks. I've been there, took listeners there, and Israel would welcome and has tried to do various things. Gaza, they were given that in order they have a space. It's confined, you're right, by geography, but it was done in order to give them a place. And all that happened is Israel was attacked. But Cole, I'm glad you're listening. I'm glad you called in. All right, 855-839-1210. That's how you get on board. AT&T and Verizon Wireless, all that you have to do is just push pound 1210. You're on board. So Krasner pops up again. He is, despite what I think the change in Philadelphia, we saw who won. Sherelle Parker won. On the Democrat side, it was a law and order platform in communities that are suffering. They're under fire. Helen Gim did not win. And she was pretty far down the rung, Helen Gim, as far as total voters. Yet Krasner still continues on. Here's a little bit of Larry the K when asked today, or he called the news conference to tell us what he's going to do or not do, lecturing on the First Amendment. The First Amendment doesn't give you the right to violate what are clear health codes, property codes, university codes. Set up these encampments wherever you feel like. Listen to Krasner.
And during an unrelated news conference this morning, Philadelphia DA Larry Krasner was asked about a series of questions about how he would handle the protesters camped out at UPenn and whether he would prosecute them.
I think we all have to reserve judgment here, wait and see what occurs or does not occur, and figure out to what extent, on an individual basis, there is a crime, there is probable cause, and it would be just to prosecute it.
Krasner telling reporters he does not want to make a political statement in either direction. And he says his office firmly believes in the right to protest, but also understands the importance of academic institutions being able to function and educate.
Yeah, the translation is he's sending a clear message with the other statements I read you that he's not going to do anything here. The most he'll do is people will be brought in by the police. They may be inconvenienced for a bit. You can call it whatever you want, but when it's clear that you're trespassing in a massive way, disrupting the university, violating what the law is about these encampments. These are not the homeless having to sleep on the street. And citing that with the Supreme Court is ridiculous. Also saying that Philadelphia is just doing this to suppress free speech. How about if they camp, Dan? Do you think Larry Krasner, now be pretty hard over at Market Street where his headquarters are, how would Krasner react to wherever he lives if we had encampments there? He wouldn't react very well. Maybe for a day he would put up with it to show, that he's on board with this. How long would that go on if Krasner had to have the same thing on his block, in his backyard?
Not long.
Not long. We know what the answer is. He's insulated from it. Just like these people in Chestnut Hill that vote for him, among others. And the insulated crowd in Center City who feels they're insulated till they're a victim of crime. And then their world doesn't know what to do. Where does it come from? Well, it's spreading to the suburbs. Even though people there don't realize it yet, they want to pretend it's not. It's Krasner. So as much as we're seeing what I think is great infrastructure of the mayor and police commissioner, you still have to deal with this other part. It's him. It's always him. It's going to be him. You can throw your hands up, surrender to this guy, or realize this is the guy you have to beat in an election. That's what you have to do, whatever it takes. All right, 855-839-1210. You get a line. AT&T and Verizon Wireless, just push pound 1210. Side question. Something people say they don't like, but they really do. Leader in the clubhouse might be Robert of Ben Salem, right, Dan?
Yes, with pornography.
With pornography, yeah. That's going to be a hard one to beat.
That's going to be hard.
That was outside the box, but you can do it and get your name into the hat for a big prize at the end of the week. You can do it. 855-839-1210.
Weather sponsored by Morgan & Morgan.
It will feel more like late July today with a mix of sun and clouds. High temperature 88 degrees. Average high is 70 and the record high is 90. Tonight, partly cloudy and mild, low 62. And another warm day on Tuesday, partly sunny with a high 86.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Last year, more clients hired Morgan & Morgan than ever before. We now have more offices, more staff, and more lawyers than any other injury firm in the world. Protecting America, fighting for you.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Are you concerned about your child struggling in school? Do they need more of a challenge? Now's the time to make the call to Kathy Ganna and New Hope Academy in Yardley and Doylestown at 800-300-0003. Let New Hope Academy transform your child's life forever by helping them now. For over 3 decades, New Hope Academy founder Kathy Ganna, a pioneering educator and entrepreneur who created the NHA model, has been utilizing and state-of-the-art solutions to uncover ways where your child could avoid struggling and succeed. At New Hope Academy, there's a student-teacher ratio of 2 to 1, allowing for students to deal with many disorders, including high anxiety, social, and emotional, and including bipolar. Do not wait. Remember, only the best teachers can work at NHA. Call for a no-obligation tour and consultation. 90% of NHA graduates pursue a college education. Call Kathy today at 800-300-0003. Online, newhopeacademy.net. Call New Hope Academy today.
Do you feel like you're going through life clouded by doubt? Talk to California Psychics. Our trusted and accurate psychics are available 24/7, and we guarantee if it's not life-changing, it's free. Download the app or connect with us at californiapsychics.com. Right now, new customers get 80% off their first reading. Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-790-1400. 800-790-1400.
See Joe Conklin and the City Rhythm Orchestra in a tribute to Philly sports fans at Wildwood Catholic Academy in North Wildwood and at the Ocean City Music Pier in Ocean City, New Jersey.
Alan Iverson, Cole Hamels, Joel Embiid.
My dad set this up. This was actually a gift to us to bring us all together, come see Joe and relive all the Philadelphia history. Come see it. It's amazing.
That's Joe Conklin and the City Rhythm Orchestra at Wildwood Catholic on June 29th and the Boardwalk in Ocean City, New Jersey on July 13th. For tickets, go to joeconklin.com.
Lose 20 to 40 plus pounds guaranteed with NJ Diet. NJ Diet uses DNA and blood work to help you lose weight and keep it off. Tune into their radio show Sundays at 2 or visit njdiet.com.
Hi, everyone. Matt here from Emmons Roofing and Siding. There are a lot of companies out there that say they do roofing, siding, windows, and doors. Some good, some not so good. Be careful of those that say buy two, get two free. Does that really make sense? Think about it. At Emmons, we don't offer gimmicks, just quality products installed by our experienced craftsmen. We do offer 12 months, same as cash financing, though. That's not a gimmick. That's because we know how tough it is for some people right now to get these projects done. If you need roofing, siding, or windows and doors, call us for a free estimate today at 856-885-6677 or visit us at callemmons.com.
Although you try not to, most of us have used an ATM out of network. And at the end, you get that notice that it's going to cost you $4 extra.
Are you kidding me?
So you're paying money to get your own money. It makes you crazy. In retirement, you're going to want to use that 401k. But every time you dip into it, you have to pay taxes. Here we go again. You have to pay money to get your own money.
Oh, come on!
Jim Cipriotti and the Retire Ready Financial Group believes that every retirement plan needs a tax plan. Without it, you're using Uncle Sam's plan. And do you really think that's going to work in your favor? Call Retire Ready Financial Group today at 610-894-7415. That's 610-894-7415. And schedule a complimentary retirement consultation. Or you can find them online at retirereadyfg.com. Investment advisory services offered through Retire Ready Wealth Management, registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through James V. Cipriotti, Retire Ready Financial Group, LLC, NPN number 2083768.
Broadcasting live from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and on the free Odyssey app.
All right, I'm Giordano Show. I'm watching footage. We've been watching Columbia University. We're watching footage now. There's still same kind of stuff going on as the other day at University of Texas at Austin, and the police in full riot gear are moving in to remove them from the areas where they can't congregate. So you see the difference between the two. By the way, I don't see it, but Greg Abbott is on the short list, according to some, relatively short. Trump's got a list that Dan Borowski's probably on there. Oh, he's not old enough to serve. Wait a while. As VP, I still like this Doug Burgum, the candidate from North Dakota. Not that I like him. I think he's too tepid, but it shows that Trump is not just going to do something wild-eyed, because The base gets fired up if he puts that type of VP choice in. That came out over the weekend. And the bottom line with the guy is on things like abortion and others, he's not going to be somebody turning off suburbanites and the rest. And I know, Dan, already check it on Twitter. Every time I say this about the suburbanites, people go, blank them. Sometimes I get it. The bottom line is, though, this is the thing where Trump, say like a Bucks County, he's got to do better than the last time. Nudging, incrementalism. It's going to be on fire in the rural areas. And in places like Lehigh County, where he was with Latinos, he is going to do better. And Philadelphia is going to be tepid. I don't know what they're going to try to do a few days before the election. You remember with Hillary Clinton? Dan, you weren't here then, but we were at 4th and Market, and right down the block from 4th and Market, Bill and I saw the garbage left over the next day. I mean, we had photo. We were going to town with what they did. Independence Hall area, and across the street, they brought in Bon Jovi.
Bon Jovi?
Yeah, I think Springsteen.
Oh, gosh.
They had Bill and Hillary Clinton. They had the Obamas. And still, Trump eked out Pennsylvania. It's shocking. I mean, you talk about the big guns right there. Independence Hall. Amazing. That was one of the biggest events we've ever seen, and couldn't do it. Trump got over the finish line. So this idea that this is not going to be I see the advantages, is what I'm saying. These 4 collar counties, though, that's where the work has to be done. All right, 855-839-1210. You can hit us on the side question. By the way, who addressed the kiddies in their encampment by some mechanism? I'm looking at the Daily Guardian report, Dan. Mumia Abu Jamal tells the New York City students they're on the right side of history by deciding not to be silent and to speak out. Do not bow, said Mumia. Just another reason why the death penalty is such a effective device that should have been done a long time ago. How many times does this guy get to speak from jail, from prison? It must be 50 to 100 in major events like this. All right, Bruce in the Northeast is in. This rhyme, Dan, I'm going to have trouble judging this one versus Roberts. All right, Bruce, what is it people say they don't like, but they really do?
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Christy Nome, when she shot that dog, she shot her chance as vice president, I guess, you know.
You've been sitting on that line all weekend. Hey, Bruce.
Well, I finally got it right. But my answer, everybody, I don't know how you could not like this song. It's a happy sing-along song. Sweet Caroline. Dun, dun, dun.
And I'll tell you one
and
of
most
the reasons
people, they
why.
won't admit that they don't like it.
That's a great one, but I'll tell you why, Dan. You may not agree with me in it. I immediately put in my mind those insufferable, the Boston Red Sox fans. I can't get it out of my mind.
There's no way that you haven't seen in a bar before. This comes over and you haven't started singing along. Come on.
It's just a simple, happy sing-along. I don't know how you could not like it. You have to have a couple of beers sometimes, and then it becomes even better.
Some vodkas.
So, Dan, you're admitting to liking this.
It's a horrible song, but it's like it's one of those that you got to sing. I feel he's onto something.
All right,
there.
take a note here, though.
It's like "Don't Stop Believing" by Journey. It's also a terrible song that you just can't help.
I could go with that more. It is. Guys just think every woman in the bar is going to go home with them at that point because of this. That's what they're playing.
Maybe that's a good side question. What's a song, a terrible song that you just can't help but sing?
Now wait a minute, my mind's a little bit clouded. Who's the main author of this? It's God,
Bruce.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
No, the singer.
Neil Diamond.
Neil
here.
Diamond.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Real
So
Diamond.
I'm really going against everything that I like usually.
Yeah.
It's the Red Sox stuff. They're more insufferable than those New York Knicks fans yesterday. Well, it's pretty close.
Off, yeah.
No, because they're like the literate, the Sox, you know.
No, New York fans. The New York fans are the worst. When they're like a pimple that comes back every couple of years because they have a halfway decent team, but when they come back, they remind you how annoying they actually are.
Yeah. Well, I think Philadelphia, I don't know what they're saying on IP, but Dan, how can we say we're the best sports town in America and Sixers fans just sold out their tickets, apparently.
It's true. Like, how do you defend it? I don't know.
Eagles fans wouldn't do that.
No.
Not only that, they started blank whoever they were named,
Like,
Channing.
this team's hard to like, though. I mean, that's the only defense you can give is, like, at this point, Josh Harris owning it, also owning the Redskins now, and the New Jersey Devils, and then it's like,
all right.
There's been arguments I've heard on WIP. Is this a true Philadelphia team, the 76ers? Do they have the Philadelphia mentality? Do they have an owner that, cares about Philadelphia?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I think they just were getting a lot of money for their tickets, and that's why they did it. But lightning round is next. Let's see if it can beat Porn or Sweet Caroline. Man, I never say this, but I could award 2 prizes today, 2 into the hat, Dan. I don't think that's allowed, though, right?
It's your name, your show.
You'd have to be the one to decide. Oh, they're taking the kiddos off here. We're seeing arrests being frog marched off. This one dope, right? At Columbia, I'm seeing. Good. Play Sweet Caroline as they march. Dan, side question tomorrow. What song should they play when marching off students from these encampments? Might be a side question.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, okay. Humor me. 855-839-1210.
I'm the guy that never gives 5 stars because I never believe that anything is perfect. But I would give them 20 stars if I could.
Ernest Stellar Review belongs to QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative treatments. They came through when he badly needed relief for his aching knees, and doctors had told him that surgery was the only option.
What they're doing is cutting edge, and it really helps. And I'm a tough sell.
QC Kinetics is led by National Medical Director Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, a pioneer in this field. With 20 years of clinical work, tons of research, teaching, publishing in non-surgical natural pain treatments. These are the medical pros to trust.
I'm living my life basically pain-free from what I was dealing with. So I'm a happy camper today, no doubt about it.
QC Kinetics. Call today to see if you're a candidate.
Call QC Kinetics, 215-999-3000. That's 215-999-3000. 215-999-3000.
At Cherry Hill Volvo, we have absolutely incredible offers, and a plethora of both new and certified Volvos from which to choose. We are eager to offer amazingly competitive prices because we need the room for all of our construction vehicles. When leasing or purchasing a new or certified Cherry Hill Volvo, you become part of our team. Join Cherry Hill Volvo for the pricing and attention you deserve. I am Judith Krepnick, president of Cherry Hill Volvo.
Crash Proof Retirement records all financial meetings. All promises made in recorded financial meetings become legally binding between Crash Proof Retirement and the investing client. Crash Proof Retirement provides all of their clients with a certificate of authenticity, further documenting that recording financial meetings brings fiduciary responsibility to the highest level.
I'm Jack Gunning from Bluebell, Pennsylvania. I don't know whether anybody can offer you the security that Crash Proof Retirement does. I have a certificate that tells me they're a fiduciary. Everything is recorded and they have your best interest at heart. That certificate is 100% documentation that you know what they're saying is 100% correct. Other companies don't have this guarantee. This certificate means an awful lot for me, and it should mean an awful lot for you.
Certify your retirement future. Register for either the 11 a.m. or 5 p.m. Crash Proof event at the Washington Crossing Inn on May 15th. 800-722-9728 or crashproofretirement.com.
Oh, I'm sorry. Were you expecting a commercial there? Well, when describing the feeling of owning your own swim spa or hot tub, sometimes words can be hopelessly inadequate.
If you like what you hear, Jacuzzi Hot Tubs of Southeastern PA can help by transforming your outdoor living space. Build your outdoor sanctuary at any one of 5 area jacuzzi locations.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, So is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Be sure to follow Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
The time has come for the final test.
We usually call it the lightning round.
Touching me, touching you.
Oh, yeah, that guy's singing it. You guys are, I'm sure everybody's thinking
The
that's great.
David Hasselhoff.
Yes.
Come on, he's fantastic. The voice is amazing.
In Germany, apparently. They're nuts.
Yeah, he's huge in
Go
Germany.
explain. Whenever we see these countries that go off the rails like this, it makes them even more suspect. All right, let's go to Drew in Upper Darby here with Dom Giordano. Drew, what do you have today?
Hey, Dom, thanks a lot, man. Always a great show. I'm very loyal to you, man. Hey,
Thank you, Drew.
you know, Dom, here's my side answer. When people claim that they really resent conservatism or Republicans, but deep down they may not. Because, for example, if you're a young struggling actor or actress in Hollywood, or if you're trying to get a job in one of the Ivy Leagues as a professor, if they suspect you of being anything near a Republican, you'll never work again. So you have to portray yourself as, yeah, man, those conservatives, you know what I mean? But deep down inside, they vote Republican, a lot of them. Thanks,
I
Dom.
think there's more of that than you think. But yeah, I don't know that I could quite go that far, Drew, but thank you. Good shot. Gary in Newtown. Dan, I kind of like this one. Outside contender. Can it be porn, though? Gary, what's yours? Hi.
I love the callers today. It's just going to be really, really tough. So I'm going to put mine in for tomorrow first. I'll explain why in a second. You asked a question about 5 minutes ago. I'm going to sing it. Na 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 na.
Oh yeah,
that's good. Yeah, mark that down for tomorrow if we do it. Okay.
There you go. So what people, mostly the older generation, what they really don't, they say they like freedom and entrepreneurship, but they wouldn't know what to do if they had it. They like the ability of having Big Brother take care of their Social Security, take care of their Medicare, take care of their Medicaid, knowing that something's going to, Big Brother, Santa Claus, they're going to take care of you.
That's good. Big government, just like those people who want the NFL to draft a guy and send him off to Buffalo. Yep.
Oh,
they
come
really
on.
don't
Really,
want freedom.
you're going to throw that out there?
Hey, I got to get that in
less than a
before the
minute
end.
left to go.
All right,
Come on.
Dan, we got a log jam here. I kind of talking during the breaks. I guess I got to go with they were both brilliant
Pornography and Sweet Caroline, man, were two great answers.
Oh, God.
Yeah, some of the people act like they don't like, but actually do like.
Yes.
I like porn personally. Well,
there you go.
know, I don't-
Maisie,
pull that, Jim.
Take that, Jim. That's a good drop. Henry, and there already has a drop for the Zioli show. There you go. You'll hear that.
I
this
like the
afternoon.
answer of pornography.
You like the
personally.
answer of pornography, and you know it when you see it, as the Supreme Court said.
I gotta act like I don't like it. But.
All right, so that's the winner today. But great call from Bruce too. Rich Zioli is next. We hope to speak with Eamon Brown in studio tomorrow. He's at the warehouse. They're counting the votes. He thinks he wins in Philadelphia. We'll see. Rich is next. Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Billy, your gas light's on. We need to stop and fill up.
No way, Jen. Gas around here is too expensive. We can make it a little further.
Billy, listen to your big sister. You don't need to drive all over searching for